Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. I never know when it's exactly started, so let's do this. It's time to get going with the show. It's 1 p.m. on Monday. Can you believe it? Hard to believe, but it's out there already. We're back. People have been in the chat chatting. It's time to get the show started. All right, what's going on out there today, man? We are good today. It is nice day out. It is nice day. What am I talking about? All right, I want to say hello to Michael Muller first here today. Thank you for being out there first. And let's see who else is out there as we get back. You know, Knight won a case at the Supreme Court. We got to talk about that among many other things. Happy Driver Appreciation Week to everybody this week. And I want to know what your company is doing for Driver Appreciation Week. All right, so let's see what's out there. I'm going to go back part of the way here. Thank you for coming in. Kenneth, what's going on? Misty is here. Yeah, everybody beat you in today. I saw that you were out there. Michael Muller was first, as I say here. K-Dub is here. The Moo Juice, man, that is amazing. I never can forget that name right. Wylan is here. Thanks for coming in today. Dope Law, right. Chalk your wheels and let's get parked. Set the brakes. Oh, I should do something like that. Set the brakes and let's get to it, right? That'd be really good. So if I was clever, I would have done that. So don't forget, it's Roller Wiener Monday. Every Monday, it's Roller Wieners. Do you have your roller wiener? Get your wiener in your hand and let's get the show started. Join OIDA. I can't stress that enough. It's our only way to get through, what's going on out there. So there you go. So that is our only chance, really, our only group at the moment. Right. So always get paid by the hour for everything you do. If you can do that, that's the way to do it, and that was part of the deal with Knight, and that's part of the case that they went to the Supreme Court with that we're going to talk about. Right, Red Wine is here. Thanks for coming in today. So, Randy, what's going on? I am sort of on time today, right? Todd, thanks for coming on today. Jim Trucker's here. Probably, what are we saying? Guillermo, yeah, everybody beat you in today. You thought you'd be the first one I saw that. No way, right? Ralph, thanks for coming in. Trucker Dave from Maine, right? What's going on? Texas Trading is at the Indy Airport. Is that not the best airport in the country? My wife flies out of there every year. I take her down there to go see her son in Seattle. It is like a super great airport. We'll be flying out again next year. We meaning her. Racket Maker, hello, what's happening? Shante, right? Holsey, hello, right? K. Wayne, what's happening out there? Felipe, what's going on? It's good to see you here. Daryl, hey, what's happening? Bill. You are on 294, the tri-state around Chicago. My old stomping grounds up there, Chicago, Illinois. Lived on North Whipple Street for the longest time. First jobs in Chicago. Grew up in Hammond. Right, Randy, what's going on? Nobody cares about your life. All right, great. Trevor, hey, what's happening? Plantees, hello, right? Kangaroo Trucker. P&G gave you a gift bag for driver appreciation. That's nice. I'll tell you. I'll tell you in a minute what my company has done so far. This week at Smith, you get a $25 gift card to use, and you have a barbecue. That's awesome. Luke, 1, 2, 3, 4, helping Total Wine and More move their store across the shopping center. Really? Do they give you any wine to take home with you? Hey, what's happening, Kevin Ford? I'm going to go look at a Ford later this week. That's somewhat ironic. Mr. D, good to see you. Good to see you here. Texas Trader, you're here every other week. Look, I'll take it. You're shuttling their freight. Hey, if it pays by the hour, I'm in. Doesn't matter what it is. WV, what's up? Sitting at a landfill. Yikes. 16 trucks in front of you. Oh, but paid by the hour, right? Who cares? I thought it was going to be a garbage job, but it turns out it is a garbage job. Yikes. One company you don't work for. There's lots of them that I don't work for. JJ Godfrey, paid by the hour is the only way to go. You love over the road and paid by the hour. There's a few places that do over the road and paid by the hour, right? That is the only way to do it. Really, if you want to get paid for your time, that's how you got to get paid for your time. Otherwise, there's going to be some kind of time that you don't get paid for. Mr. Chapstick is here. You like the flag? Thank you very much. Wherever I go, there's a flag. In the studio is a flag. The car's got a flag. They're all over the place. And thank you for that. Dash Cam Sam, no roller wiener today. Got free fried chicken for driver appreciation. Yeah, Love's all month is doing a driver appreciation month, basically, at the Love. So be sure to check your card. Go swipe it, and they're giving free stuff away. I love it. B. Morris headed to the tri-state also in Chicago. Yikes. Everybody's up there. Get your toll cards ready. Janiero, what's the best trucking school? Yeah, I don't know of any trucking schools. There's so many. So I've never really looked into trucking schools. It's just too hard to do. Maybe somebody here went to a good school, and they could give you an idea that way. Todd Highfill, what's going on today? Chrome Daddy is here. Luke, 35 an hour. I'll take it all day long. That's great. Michael, you don't have the barbecue, so that's why you get $25. That's better than a slap in the face and a kick in the butt. Highfill, you're going to Effingham, world's best petro there. Daryl, my company's letting you drive 11 hours today. Why are they letting you drive 11 hours today? Tiny House, usually they want you to drive 13 hours. Tiny House Dreaming says Prime gives $50 Prime points to be used at the company store. That's something. I do think that all company stores, not just Prime, should sell their stuff at cost. Some do. I see some where shirts are like $7 or $8, and then some are like shirts are like $35. You know, I don't think the company should profit, but $50 at the store, that's free clothes or whatever else. I'm in. I'm still in. Love it. I'm glad these companies are doing something for this. Anyway, Guillermo, I got told your butt to work by the boss and got told get your butt to work by the boss on driver appreciation. That's hey, I guess at least you're getting work that day. But I agree. Some companies they don't they don't care that much about it, and that tells you something right there. Do I think it's worth joining a WIDE? It seems they don't do much. Well, you know, it's the only thing to do. There's no other organization for drivers. Anything else you would join is really for companies or whatever. So it's really the only organization for drivers that has drivers in it. I mean, where else can you go? Really? Kenneth, it's down here in chilly McAllen. It's chilly in McAllen, Texas. It's like 75 here. Holy mackerel. Nomad free lunch at the terminal, only 2,000 miles away. Don't you love that, right? They've done it here too sometimes. They'll have like a meal from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Brilliant, right? I don't leave till the afternoon. I'm like, where's my food? So I love when they do that sometimes. Kangaroo lives for the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Randy, you are in Columbus, Ohio, not that far. Wild Bill is here. You fell asleep, but you're awake now. Get it together over there, man. Oh, put down that can you've got going on. Earl, Tranco is a decent school. Tiny House Dream of Pilots giving free beverages every day in September. Okay, so Pilots doing like the Loves then, free stuff all the time. I like it that the truck stop, you know, it's somewhat funny. The truck stops do more for you than your own company does. I guess, you know, they're the one that want your money and they're giving it away free. You make a company money and they give you less than the truck stop. Nice. Janiero, what's the best school, Prime or Swift? Oh, that's going to be an interesting discussion here, I would see. Sam, a reset after 7 deliveries in the Vegas area. Much needed, no doubt. At least it's warm out there. Kangaroo Knight has a great school in Phoenix. No contract there. Just got back from North Chicago. I know somebody lives in Waukegan up there. Trevor, would love to get a job where it's OTR and in Florida. So you're going to be in the reefers. Hey, Wayne, it's 80 in New Mexico. That's much better. When is Truck Appreciation Week? It is this week. It's right now. Do you feel appreciated by your company? What have they done for you? Are they doing anything for you? Are they just let it ride? Who cares, right? What, Kenneth, what I get from my company for Appreciation Week? The opportunity to work. Yeah, they go, you can stay this week. We were going to fire, but you can stay. Felipe, my boss, had the same. Get to work. Nice. Love it. Companies love us. Heard Carl's Transport in Antigua, Wisconsin has a 4-month school course. That's like these weekend courses. That'd almost be like going to a weekend course at the community college. Like Ivy Tech here in Indiana, some of the campuses have a school and it's like that long, but it's weekends. I'm in Fort Worth and it's 98 degrees. So why is it so cold in McAllen? Area 52. That's coming up here too. Good afternoon. We're going to be over there. They can't kill us all. Susan, thank you very much for being here and thanks for saying that. Lisa, your husband works for Night and they haven't started paying anything. Well, there's no contract at Night, right? But are you saying that they are not paying anything for Driver Appreciation Week? Susan, facts. Susan says Prime and Big says Swift, right? So I thought how it would be. Why do you think that is a better place? Let's put it that way so people can get some idea of why you're saying that. RG Utah, how are you? I'm doing great. What GPS would I recommend? I just use Google Maps, and just to be the first, and what company do I work for? All right, so back to GPS. I use Google Maps, all right? It's free, it's on your phone, and it is not truck specific. I know before people start writing that on there. Call the place, right? Do a satellite view. Use Google Maps to find your streets and common sense, and, that's it. I don't buy a truck GPS. I just don't. I never have. We have a built-in one into our ELD, and it's horrible, so I don't recommend it. I mean, ours takes you down, city streets that are not made for trucks, and you have to put in what size your truck is, how long it is, and all that, so it knows what the size of your truck is, and it goes down streets that you're not allowed. So I'm not a big fan of them. I don't want to depend on that. I guess when starting, we didn't have any of that, so it was all maps. I just still use Google Maps to this day. And for people that are new on the channel, right, I don't say where I work. That keeps them out of my videos. I don't want them messing around in my videos saying, oh, you can't say that or whatever. That keeps them out of there. I also don't recruit for them. I mean, what is everybody out here recruiting for their company? Don't people work for their company and go drive for them? I don't recruit for them either. Let them get their own drivers, especially this week after what they're doing this week. Trucker Hershey, you've been saying it wrong. Love says buy 2 grilled roller items, get a free bottle of water. Hey, that's something. But what Love said is that they're doing the whole thing this month. Free stuff. Each day is a different thing. Come in all month. We love drivers. That's what they were saying on their site. Guillermo says, try Schneider. But I don't like Schneider because of how so good miles. So that's why I'm out of Schneider, really. Let it ride. The barbecue trucker. Hello from Central Texas. Everybody's over in Texas or in Chicago today. I don't know where I'd rather be. Probably Texas. Roadrunner Freight is doing driver appreciation, but they're still a bad company. Yeah, sometimes they try to do that to get you to feel a little bit better for them. Michael says Rand McNally is best. See, some other people, maybe they've tried a truck GPS. I'm just not a fan of using them because the ones I've seen, they're not 100%. So if you're going to trust it, that's a real problem. You get a 4-day weekend this weekend for driver appreciation? Really? Where are they doing that? That is sweet. Hopefully, is that paid or not? Even so, that's still good. JJ's the best fleets to drive for list that the TCA release is legit. Not really. I mean, it's always the same kind of suspects. There's something to be said for it, but when, the TCA, which is the Truckload Carriers Association, votes on this stuff, I don't know how much to depend on that. You still, no matter what kind of awards and stuff places have, you still have to do your research on it always. Yourself, because it may be a great fleet to drive for, but it might not be a great fleet for you to drive for. Maybe it doesn't have the things you want. So maybe it's a great company, but you wouldn't fit in there. It wouldn't work out for you. So it still may not matter. You're still going to have to check it out. K-Dub with his milk. The motoring public has appreciated me extra today by cutting you off more. Oh, maybe that will be for the entire week. And that's always great in a smooth bore tank too. It's a little hammer. Hey, it's something. Can you pound your tires with it? Ryan, what's a good gift for driver appreciation? Well, I don't know. I mean, anything out of the ordinary that they do, they should do something. I'd like to see them give, $100, a couple $100. That'd be super nice, right? Or an extra day off. Okay, you can use this day off whenever you want. That'd be great. That's what I would like. Anything, I guess, would be better than nothing. Just them mentioning it. Really it should be Driver Appreciation Week every week at your company where they actually do appreciate that you come to work and they treat you well all year round, that kind of stuff. Kenneth, oh, that's a chilly 95. Oh, okay. Sarcasm. Yeah, I'm like, is it really cold in McAllen, Texas? Holy moly. That sounds more like it. Mr. Chapstick is here. Heard Swift has no contract for company paid training. That's true. Not sure the quality of training you get from those trainers. That's at any company. They don't have a lot of standards for trainers. Most places will let you be a trainer in less than a year. It's very unusual for them to want more than that. I don't think that's great. So it's always a crapshoot. You might get somebody that's been driving 20 years, though, that's a trainer. You just never know almost until you get there. Good afternoon, Mark. Glad could bless you with my presence. Thank you for coming in and blessing all of us with your presence today at Driver Appreciation Day. All those hammers, layers to hire the truck wreck, encourage people to do insurance frauds. Yeah, right. Whenever anybody gets away with it, it just encourages the next person to do it. But it's already a person that is going to do this to start with, really. It's not going to be just a regular. Like, you wouldn't do that if you are already not, predisposed to do it, really. Susan says Garmin and Google Maps. So you combine the two. I just like the Google Maps, too, because it's already on your phone and it's already free. Do I think OIDA's done less now than when they started? I don't think they're doing enough. Look, I agree with you. There's a lot more they can do. There's a lot of stuff they talk about, but then they won't call a company out for it. Oh, drivers should get paid, or, we need more training, but they won't call out by name companies that they should. They have tons of power. They have a lot of people, and they won't do it. They just won't do it, and I'm sad about that. But still, it's still all we've got is if somebody knows some other group that would be better that we could all join, that'd be great, but there just isn't one. And there's only, 150,000 OIDA members, 200,000. There still even aren't that many members there, but that's all we've got. We can't join the ATA. Sam, you have a truck Garmin that you use for truck stops. Other than that, use Google Maps. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Google Maps is free. I drive night. What court case? Christopher. All right. Night. Well, Bill, that's a good policy. Thank you. Yeah, look, Knight lost a court case in the Washington Supreme Court, a minimum wage case. So it's a piecework case. Let's talk about piecework. Lisa, Knight gave up pen for Driver's Week. Well, that's still something. Piecework is normally it's reserved for people doing so many cases of something, but it can be people that are paid by the mile. That's piecework according to the courts, as I knock my microphone around. All right. So if you're paid piecework, you're paid 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. It doesn't matter. However much a mile, that's considered piecework. And so the drivers sued, got a class action together and sued and said, no, you have to pay us for work outside of our piecework, pre-trips, post-trips, when you're sitting at the dock, waiting time, everything that is not mileage pay. They said, so because that pay should at least be paid at minimum wage. And that went all the way to the Washington Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said no. As long as your total pay for the piecework and divided by all of your hours of work is at least minimum wage, then you are paid. You've made minimum wage for the week. So 70 hours at minimum wage is $616. So drivers are trying to get paid for all this extra time that we're not paid for. But it turns out the Washington Supreme Court ruled in Knight's favor and said no. Any pre-tripping, fueling, anything else you do, as long as your total week makes minimum wage, you've made minimum wage. Knight wins that case. I don't think fighting for minimum wage is ever really a great idea, but it would have at least aggravated them. I guess it didn't aggravate them because they lost. Tiny House Dreaming thinks prime because you get real-world experience, one-on-one with a trainer. You're not stuck at a truck school with a class of 10 students. You learn at your pace with reason. Well, let's ask you this about prime. Do they do team training? Meaning if you're training, can the trainer be asleep? And that goes for any company. But since you said that, let's ask that about Prime. I'm happy with Garmin and Google Maps. Mr. D. Guillermo Loves needs to fix pumps first. No fuel in Sinton. Yikes. I made it before the end of the show. Big, huge Mike, thank you for coming in before 3:30. Appreciate that. BJ97 in San Antonio. I can never forget that city. Misty. I asked a question earlier before you came on, but do I recommend any copies for people who just want to work part-time? Any copies? Or maybe half the year? What is a copy? Do I recommend any copies? Companies? I saw people talking about delivering trucks, and I think that's not a bad idea, really. There's a lot of trucking places that we can deliver new and used trucks that are decked, which is when they stack them up on each other. And that's generally $10.99 because you get to pick your own schedule. And so that's for somebody like you that wants to work part of the year. That's a pretty good deal. You're not an employee. So you can work when you want and not when you want. And you get a decent truck generally. So you'll need to be able to drive a stick. I don't know if you have a restriction or not because you can get any kind of truck. Some of the trucks are really nice. That's some owner operators ordered a truck and so you get to take their truck across the country. Yeah, and they usually fly you back like people said and you motel every night because they don't want you sleeping in the trucks. Yeah, I think that's a perfect idea. Good afternoon from Sweetwater. Tony says, Chronic Flux, what's going on? Checking in from Tri-Cities, where at Washington, where Knight just won their case. Joseph. JB Hunt is doing nothing for you. They just finished a corporate building. Well, that's nice of them. So they're building another one. No money for drivers. Hey, those corporate people, what do you want them to do? Not have a nice building? Trevor, you're military and currently in North Carolina for the next 2 weeks. All right, well, thanks for being here. WV Schneider's paying drivers to get through the CDL class now. No contract in Indianapolis. Yeah, that comes and goes. And I've had people ask that over the years of doing this here. And every once in a while, Schneider will put up a thing where they're paying for you to go through the class with no contract. And it usually, for some reason, I found it to be in Indianapolis. And that, even though Schneider is household goods, I guess, right, that you probably make that up on that. So as long as the class is free there, that's not bad. That's not a bad way to do it. You can get your license, no contract, and get it paid. And then get a job at Schneider, get some experience, and then if you want, move on, which I probably would recommend after you got some experience, just because that household goods. You're getting hosed on that. Antoine, what's going on today? Hello? Susan pinned the address Google Maps view post drop into GPS. Rhino uses a Garmin 785. Of course, Rhino, making the bucks, can afford that kind of big stuff right there. I'm just using the old flip phone with the Garmin, Google Maps on it. Geniero Savannah, it's 92. Humid over there, though, right? Cold shoulder. Did I hear of the Brampton accident? Is that the guy that went over that bridge? I'm not sure what city it was in. Sam. I went from a Rand McNally to a Garmin. Rand McNally is better. Yeah, ours is Garmin. That's built in. It's got built-in built-in. You tap it. Garmin, right? But it's horrible. It's taking you down city streets, and right here in Lafayette, right? So it's taking me down streets I know you can't go down. There's a big sign, no trucks or whatever. So it's horrible, and that's the built-in one from the company. Of course, you tell them about it. They're like, oh, don't worry about it. Michael, I mean, you trust the Rand McNally, and they make the Rand McNally GPS. My 6-year-old TND 730 never steered me wrong. So Rand McNally may be the way to go here. The Critic. Schneider pays you during school, but they take it back when you start working for them. Kind of like Swift, right? They take it over a year or something, and then you get it back over 2 years. They have a different way to do it there. Texas Trader would take a Garmin 580. Running local kitchen cop. In Central California, driver appreciation is getting paid salary. Hey, that could be good. I had no problems with a Garmin Desi 770. See, I'm just not a fan of this built-in one. We're having a truck rodeo Saturday with contest award dinner, all kinds of fun for drivers, their family. All right, that's pretty good. Guillermo, 2012 Dillon Transport gave us 25. Well, it was a gift card for Walmart. I guess I could sell that on the open market. Dewey Lando Frost in Searcy, Arkansas is hiring drivers. It's a shipper company. That's better than some because right now they're saying that there's trucking job loss. 4,500 drivers lost their jobs in August. Well, it's down 4,500, even though it's up for the year. Don't always believe all this stuff. Trucker Todd, for driver appreciation, Roadrunner should give you some roller wiener coupons so you don't starve to death waiting for a load. Yeah, the longer you wait, every 2 hours you should get a coupon for a free roller wiener. Darrell, all way stations should be closed. That would be the best kind of driver appreciation. Wonder how good the El Cheapo truck GPS that's on Amazon is. If it's only correct 60% of the time, that's still good deal. Is it? And look, and I've heard of ones like this. I think on anything like this, you're going to have to pay. You're going to get what you pay for. I guess if it's 60%, it's still better than half, and that's better than the casino, so worth it. What do you want for Driver Appreciation Week, says Kenneth, to watch Market Trucking Answers. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. This is my appreciation that everybody comes on here. I can't do the show without everybody. It would just be me talking to myself. I'd look crazy. And so I really do appreciate everybody coming on the show every weekend, watching the videos and everything else that we do together here. The Barbecue Trucker, I'll be with Maverick next year, and I'd be glad to volunteer my time to cook barbecue for all the drivers there. That's pretty good of you. They wouldn't want me cooking barbecue. It'd be all burnt. Michael, the Hammer lawyers are everywhere. Daryl the Hammer. Sean, that Great Lakes driving school in Ohio after 600 clock hours. Wow. 4 months of oil field pipeline safety, heavy equipment, and CDL class for $22,000. Is there value in that or waste in that? Wow. $22,000, that's the most expensive one. I mean, these oil field pipeline safety course, are you going to do that? I mean, is that a specific thing you're going to do? And do you need that? I've never been in the oil field. Okay. So I don't know anything about it really, other than I see signs for the ads. Is this something that you need to work in the oil field? So, I mean, will this help you get a job? Because if you don't need this, in heavy equipment operation, I don't know, is that going to get you anywhere? $22,000 is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Sean, thanks for my time. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you all for being here. Look, I don't mind doing it. It's you people that are giving up your time to be here. You could be doing anything than watching me. Swift in Lewiston, Idaho is the best school. Maybe in the summer, right? Common sense is better than any GPS. Right. That's what I'm saying too. There's part of it is learning. If you're using Google Maps, you actually have to think too. You have to think a little bit about it. I meant what common sense you haven't seen in a while. Daniel, lunch 1 day for each week of the month and a case freezer full of ice cream. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Sam, my company is giving out t-shirts for driver appreciation, then a barbecue Saturday so that at least they give you something. I agree. CFI student does all the driving. Both people sleep at the same time. That's the way it should be, so I'm in for that. I'm still waiting to see about Prime here. Hello, Mark, and everyone on Kentucky I-75. All right, heading up for a reset. Great, Clay. Love it. Tiny House Streaming. And there, as I speak, there it is. Team training only after your CDL. Once you're comfortable with your ability to drive. Before getting CDL training, he has to be up with you. He's required to be up with you. You sleep. Otherwise, it's teaming. You're not really training. So, see, for me, that's not training. I could train you in my sleep too, right? That's not, to me, that's not training. I think the trainer should be required to be up and logged on duty, of course. So I'm out. For that, that's teaming. They're just using the student to team with. And of course, they have to be up before you get your CDL because it's required. Doesn't Knight have a part-time and ad hoc? Do they have ad hoc drivers there? Hey, Jimmy from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, what's going on out there? Hey, with your thin pizza. Ulysses. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Google Maps would take you the way you're going to go in a car. I agree. Could take you down low bridges. That's correct. I said it's car-based. It is not truck-based. That's why you first satellite map the view. So you look at it. In Google Maps, I use it for like the last final mile. Let's use a JB Hunt term. So in the dark, you go, is this the street? Is that the street? I'm not sure. Oh, no. Then it's 3 streets because it still says 1,000 feet. That kind of thing. That's how you use it. And you've already satellite viewed it. So you know it's the 4th driveway is the truck driveway. And then you call the place and go, how do I get in here? Right? And use a map. So I agree with you. You don't follow it for bridges or anything. I agree. Randy, the healthy highway, man. Use the Loves app to get fuel at work good. No fuel card swiping in the cold. I've heard that. I've never actually tried it. People always tell me to sign up for it, and I haven't done it. Corey Mark in 2020. That would be really great. Janiero, can anybody tell you the Prime training pay? Yeah, let's see what that is too. Prime does 2 training phases. The first is 2 to 3 weeks, and it's designed to take you from learners to CDL. During that, the trainer must be next to you. Yeah, he's required by law to be next to you. It can't just be a Prime policy. You can't drive. Somebody's got to be sitting. You have a permit. Red Kodiak, what's going on? A ramping and raving today? Oh, always. Right. Vamping, too. Big Red Rex, during the second phase, it's team. So that's not training. You're teaming. So the training ends after the first part. Let's just be honest about it. Wild back and wet. Was it raining where you were strapping? Wild Bill, how often do you do this live show? Well, I want to thank you for being a new member here, Wild Bill, and thanks for coming in. I should mention to people that I do this every Monday. Every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I am here. Big Knot. Any school's better than Schneider? 3 to a truck. Well, at the truck school, look, when I went to truck school, right, they had 4 chairs in the sleeper. And so there were 5 of us in the truck learning. 4 watching and 1 driving. We just went out for the day and would switch, and they came in for lunch. But that's how it went into training. When you're out on the road, it should just be you and a trainer. Antoine, hey Mark, how are you doing? I am doing awesome. It's a Monday, which couldn't be any better of a day. The old RN tablet worked better than the new one, just slower. Why would the new one be slower? 94 degrees in Alabama. Oh, okay, the old one is better. Got it. Tiny house, I enjoy driving for Prime, make good money week after week. That's good. I mean, the money, good. But training, when you're sleeping, not training. That's what I think. Nobody would tolerate it anywhere else. People can say what they want about Prime or any other company. But if your kid went to school and the teacher went to sleep, you would not consider your kid as to be someone that's getting an education. Say the teacher passes something out and then they do it, and the teacher is sleeping, you'd have the teacher fired immediately. So that's what would happen. And it should be the same here. If somebody is sleeping, they're not training. That's what I think. Trucker Todd, there should be some Blue Parrot headset giveaways. Oh, there should be, yes. Let's talk to Blue Parrot about that. Why are we not having that going on? Certainly. Don't forget to get a Blue Parrot, as we say every week. And I always say also, you need a good place to work. Check out GP Transco. Have you seen their trucks? Check them out. And don't forget to check out Jay tomorrow at Auto Transport Intel, 8 p.m. Central. Can you believe it? I'm moving around, but the camera's not on me. I don't know why I'm doing that. 8 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. He does a live show every week. Right. Even the cat can't believe that is happening. But Jay is on live tomorrow. Check out the show. How about all that clicking stuff that I'm doing? I'm getting really good at that. The speed of your GPS depends on the type of memory card you use. Oh, this is all technical now. The barbecue trucker cooks competitions. You could teach me how to cook awesome barbecue free of charge. That would be great. Yeah, because I would just basically, it's either raw or burnt, or basically it comes out like the microwave. So the center is cold, frozen, and the outside is burnt, charred. Jan Hero, I heard Freightliner's building CRE super sleepers with 8 bunks. Well, for England, look, if they could get more people in there, they would. England is known, for people that don't know, England, so far, it's the only one I've seen on the road, although I guess it's possible. They order special Freightliners that have 3 bunks in them. And that is a true story. So 2 students go out at one time with a trainer. And I've talked to trainers that make a lot of money there, okay? No question about that. Some of them said they never drive. So the 2 students flip off and they never drive. So that's pretty awesome. Cold shoulder. No, he ran a stop sign and killed 3 people. Why do I keep hearing drivers running stop signs? Last year, Humboldt, Saskatoon driver killed a busload of hockey players. I don't know. I assume they're not paying attention, which is common with drivers of cars and trucks. I didn't hear about this one. No, but, you got to, look, I don't know. We have to say this, right? When you're driving, you can only be driving, right? We got to pay attention. It's super dangerous. What is better for over 3 Garmin Goss or a Ram McNally? So far, people are Ram McNally on this one. If it took a year to make $22,000, you made nothing. Right? You're gonna make more than $22,000 your first year. I would hope from this truck school. I'm just wondering, do those trainings? Will those translate to anything for you, or could you go to a regular truck school for $6,000 or $7,000 and do the same thing? That's what I'm saying. Is the training valuable? Not, $20,000 is not a lot of money if the training is valuable. That's the thing. Don't worry about how much it costs. Worry about the value you get from it. That's in anything that you buy. Just got a CDL from JTL in Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha. I just noticed on the pre-trip that most truckers put 15 minutes on the clock. I could never do a full pre-trip. Well, the DOT legally doesn't give you any specific time to do a pre-trip, so most drivers it's 15 or less minutes. Here, they require 10 minutes on duty at the beginning and end of your shift for pre- and post-trip to show on there, and they assume you're going to do it at least that much time. Your company can require a certain amount of time if they want to, but the DOT doesn't require time. Most drivers are not going to do a full pre-trip, let's be honest, like you learn at truck school every time you walk out to the truck. So let's be honest about that. I love Google Maps because you can go on Street View and read road signs and low clearance. Oh, yes, that's true. You can literally drive down the street you're going to go on. Barbecue Truck will email me some tips. I need them. Thank you very much. Yeah, crank the heat or frozen in the middle. The Great Lakes School in Northern Ohio does financial aid, right? Your brother got CDL and something else and didn't cost him a penny. That's correct. You're even better off taking the aid from the school because then you won't have a contract with a company. If a company pays for it, you have to go work for them or you need a contract. So even if you'd rather take a loan out, then most companies pay that back and you don't have a contract to work for a certain place. Checking in from Central Texas. Love the channel, says Bruce Bursey. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. A lot of people in Texas today. Texas must be having more driver appreciation than the rest of the country. Michael Muller, but learning to drive in the winter is the best time to learn. So there's an experienced driving the truck before they get put in a truck going to school in July and wreck. Yeah, look, I agree. But then there's the other school of thought that if you learn in the spring, you then have some experience and you have a little bit of confidence going into winter also. So you have that, but maybe if you have less confidence on your first winter, you'll be more careful also. So there's the other side of it. Antoine, I never went to truck school. I know someone that had a truck and paid the instructor $300, but that was 18 years ago. You did. You saved a ton of money. Now I went to truck school in 1988. It was $1,595 then. So you did save some money. But I don't know if I would have passed the test without at least going to some kind of truck school. That's where common sense comes in. Stephen Millis is training Heartland students now. Yeah, they bought all the training from Millis and everything. They said they bought the whole thing. Yep. TNT training at Prime is teamed. Right. They always want you to train and lease. That's correct. And most of the time they have students driving night and the trainer sleeping. That's at most places. I'm not just going to hang that on Prime, certainly. But yeah, most places the trainer, boom, they're going to sleep at night and you're going to drive all night. Absolutely. Tiny House Dreaming disagrees. I was trained after CDL for 6 weeks. My trainer would make a point to stay up with me and help you, teach you stuff. I agree. I experienced, vlogged, and and a lot of your vlogging was up. Here's the thing, your trainer, I don't think could train you if they're not up. That's just my opinion. I mean, and your trainer, let's be honest here, did more than some trainers do. Because the company, here's my problem with it, is the company, Prime, has a policy that allows the trainer to sleep. And I don't like that. The company should say, if I did it, the trainer wouldn't be paid unless they were on duty. So that's how I would make you be up. You're up in that seat. If I hear from a student that you're not up, you're fired. So that's how I would do it. I would make you train the students. Make it, and then the people would only do it that want to do it. Because I don't want people doing it for the money. I really don't. Money can't be your primary motivator for things in your life, or you won't be great at it. You won't find your greatness because you're only doing it for the money. You've got to do something that you love to do. So that's my problem with it. It's a corporate problem that they don't mind you doing because Prime makes double the money. It's not just Prime, okay? A lot of these companies allow this, and the company makes double the money on it, on the same truck. And they do encourage people to train. People that have no business training, few months, 6 months. I mean, what is the training requirement there? 8, maybe a year at the most you could train? No way. Michael Muller says cat break. Right. Oh, it's totally time for a cat break. Right. And Gracie is looking to find her trainer. Certainly. I wish somebody would train her. However, trainers, anyone use an oil-cooled CB antenna? I have seen them. I've never used one because you're not legally allowed to increase the power of your citizens band radio on 12 meters. So how about that? Those are people that are skirting the law. Tiny house dreaming. Trainers are not required to be as good as your trainer was. He was excellent. It's up to the trainer how they run with their new drivers. See that? And so that's a corporate policy thing. And they should require good trainers. See, I'd make you have 5 years before you could be a trainer. 5 years. 5 years. It's Gracie showing driver appreciation. Yes, she said she will not bite my toes while I'm doing the show. What is Swift's training pay? That's a good question. See if somebody is here from Swift that knows that. They have a lot of company drivers. 2 trainees at a time with the trainer taking notes. Train the trainer. Oh, maybe they all train each other. They all quiz each other with cards. That's England. 2 trainees, 1 trainer in the truck. What's Swift training pay? Right, let's see what people say. Coiled CB antenna. I've seen them. I've seen only one GP Transco in 4 months. They run 48 states. They do run all over the country. They're from just outside Chicago. They're in Darien, but they're building a new terminal somewhere near Joliet, Illinois, right, is being built. So they're outside Chicago. They do run 48 states. And if you go on their Instagram, really, if you want to find out more about GP Transco, just where they run, they have an Instagram account, and they post their driver pictures. Drivers send pictures in, and they're from all over the country, so I think it's pretty interesting. Red Kodiak, hey, mate, what's going on, mate? I've been looking around in Arizona for trucking schools out here. What's the best bet? Well, you're close to Swift, certainly out there. There's more out in See It Flying J. Denny's. I think we need a cat break. Yeah, we had that. You could buy those 3-bunk trucks and rent them out as apartments. Yeah, they're small. There's no room in them. Loaded with aluminum to Spokane. We'll be listening. All right, on a Blue Parrot. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. Blue Parrot also appreciates that. What's with the Amazon no identification on delivery vans? Are they legal? Are they paying fuel tax? I don't know what the law is about that. Are they diesel? That's the first question. Are these diesel? These Sprinter vans, are they diesels? I don't know. And why is there no identification? Well, these are all independent contractors. They're probably required to put identification. But I don't know what the law is on a small non-CDL van. Probably have to have something on it. Plus, if they put it on there, we might mix it up Prime or Prime Inc., Prime, Amazon Prime, because they're being sued. That's why I say that. Hi, Mark and everybody. Sorry you missed last week. GP Transco, and there they are right there. That's pretty ironic that you said that. Hey, I didn't think you'd be out here. It's Labor Day. You deserve a day off, too. Run a gigantic place over there, so thanks for being here today. Michael Muller, the more automatic safety features, the more lazy drivers become. They rely on it. Exactly, because now we've got Torque, T-O-R-C. They're working on Level 4 self-driving trucks, and they said they're at least 10 years out. Now, Level 4 is the truck drives itself on an open highway that is pre-mapped and geo-fenced. That is Level 4, and they're over a decade out. They just said that today for Level 4. Level 5 is no steering wheel. So that would be where it can drive through town. They said maybe 20, 25 years. All the training is going to prepare you for some odd ship situation at the shipper. Yeah, some of them are just yikes. I did underground training and saved thousands. Is there like a black market for training? Prime team training is not good, a nightmare. Lots of students need to switch trainers. Yeah, that's everywhere. I don't want to hang that just on Prime, do you? But I agree with you. Because the companies, if they cared and appreciated drivers, they wouldn't allow it. Okay, once a trainer, especially has been switched by a couple students, why are they still training people? Why are they don't have it in them to train? It takes a certain kind of person to be able to do that. And this is everywhere. It's a crapshoot. You might get the best trainer everywhere, anywhere, at Prime or any place else. And you might get 3 horrible trainers and then you leave the industry. And that's wrong. That's just not the way to do it. Google Earth is everyone's friend. It's mapped out being flat and all, of course, as we know. That's the only way you could map it, right? GP Transco says Canada's not mandatory, so that's good. I didn't know if they went to Canada. Hi, Mark. Went through Werner years ago, Chris, and it couldn't drive a truck to save his life. The trainer, right. Had 4 near-death experiences. Exactly. Why is this person, they probably don't have much experience either, and so then you're not going to get trained well, and, I'm glad that you're still driving. Hopefully you are still driving. A lot of people in your situation would leave the whole industry and then owe Werner money and stuff, and just every company, all these large companies that have trainers do this kind of stuff, most of them. Some don't let you sleep and stuff, but, it is the norm to team, and that is not training. That's teaming. Technically, if a student is on the driving line, the trainer should be on duty. Exactly. Look, I wouldn't pay if you weren't on duty. That's how I would train. That's how I would pay the trainer. If you're not on duty, you're not being paid. And I'd put a camera over in the passenger seat. So if there's nobody sitting, maybe a sensor. No, they'd put a weight there, right? So you'd have to sit there. If you're not there, you're not paid, you're fired from training. Darling Sons saw on Yahoo News. Who reads Yahoo News? The GP Transco, up like at Yahoo News, is the 3rd largest paying carrier in the country. Oh, that's awesome. Week 2 to go. Just 2 more raises to go. I always enjoyed talking to a guy over the CB that had a CB beefed up, his lights dimmed. Yeah. Why are people doing this? Go get your ham radio license. Cold shoulder, you need way more, but when it comes to not training, always get as much as you can. More training options for work. So Big says $600 a week training pay. All right, that's pretty good compared to some. I've seen some at $350. Yeah, I remember there's a way station right on top of the hill in Lewiston, right before Swift. Adam, they're never tear the tag off mattress. Right, don't do that either. That's only the end user can do that. Sierra England probably dispatches loads to Hawaii. There was a Sierra England new trailer over at Meyer being pulled by one of these local companies that delivers new trailers, and it was sitting there the whole weekend, and I thought, wow, I wonder who the lucky driver is that's going to bang that trailer all up. That'd be great. Big Rick, if 5 years was the min to become a trainer, there would be a year-long backup to hire and train new drivers. Yeah, 5 years sounds great, but it isn't practical. Well, I don't think we should lower our standards because it isn't practical. You'd have plenty of trainers at 5 years if you paid them properly. So you'd get people that want to do it and then pay them, and you'd get people to do it. So no problem. There's tons of more drivers than we need because, if a company can hire 150% of the drivers it needs every year, there's more drivers than we actually need. So they don't need to hire as many. It's because they go through so many. Yes, as of last week, we're ranked 3rd highest paying carrier in the U.S. on truck driver salary, also at GP Transco. Nice. I was paid hourly, depends on the state you live. That was 5 years ago. GP Transco, can you get a 389 Pete? I don't know about that. We'll see what they say about that. Should pay $600 a week and extra pay over 40 hours. Oh, so $15 an hour basically. You need 6 more months before you call GP. Hey, well worth it. You'll get through the winter. In the springtime, you can get one of their melted out of the ice trucks, right? Antoine, do you receive donations? I do. I will take donations, yes. I can meet you in an alley for put paper and for cash in a brown bag. Yes, absolutely. Yes, look, there's a $ at the bottom, which I never have mentioned on the show, right? But you're asking. You can click that, so there you go. The show's free, though, right? No charge. Don't even run ads on the live show, if anybody noticed that. There's no ads on the live show now or in replay, so that gets you right in the show. You don't have to worry about ads on the show or anything like that. Mark, India for owner-operator congressman wants to raise minimum on liability. Right, $750 to $5 million. Right, and say no. Well, here's the thing, Michael. I thought about it. What do you think about this? That accident in the Denver accident where he came down I-70 or whatever is a very good example of the low policies on the insurance. This is just the other side of it, just thinking aloud here. That company only had $750,000 of insurance, which is the legal minimum. And I don't know how, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, a lot of people killed or injured that do need to receive some kind of compensation for that, and there's no money for it. So how about, let's ask you, how about that side of it? We'll see what you think. UPS Freight is running driverless between Phoenix and Los Angeles. They're Phoenix and Tucson or something, I've heard. I didn't go to school, just got a summer job at the city. Got your CDL? Oh, all right, you got it. Got it free. Clay, did the new hours of service actually take effect? Oh, no. New hours of service? I just have this written down here. They said there was a group that studies this stuff. Maybe by the end of 2020, will they finally take effect? They've got to be reviewed. They have to review the comments. They have to make proposed changes if there's going to be any. Then talk to stakeholders and then have an actual date. Will it be in effect? So maybe, now they're saying, that was just today I read that, maybe by the end of 2020. Mad Melody got hit by a Schneider student. Guess where the trainer was? In the passenger seat? Chris, still on the road. Tri-state route at family-owned company. Great people. Here a few years now. See, okay, so good. You got out of there, but a lot of people in your situation wouldn't have made it, and they'd be back doing something else and have left the whole industry, and that's too bad. Weiland was a good trainer. Still talks to some of my students. Look, there's a lot of good trainers. I'm not saying like you're bad or whatever, but then there's a lot of people that are just going to sleep immediately just for that double paycheck, and that is not the way to do it, certainly. Rhino, weight sensor, no camera. Here's the thing, Rhino. If you do a weight sensor, they'll just put weights in the seat. So how do you do it without looking at them? Maybe they can... Maybe they have to type a number in somewhere or something. I'm not sure. There has to be some way to ensure that they're up. Got 3 repair estimates for $14,000 in damage. Sweet. Cat Lift Research would train in a heartbeat, except company wouldn't let you fail the people that we both know aren't going to ever make it. Oh, I agree with that too. There's the other side of it, right? They don't want you to fail people. They want people to pass, of course, because they've already spent money on them and put them through school or whatever. But some people don't have it in them to do it. And so, they should get the chance with another trainer for, different perspective of it. But I agree with you. You should be able to say, look, this person just can't do it or whatever. And then once it's the second trainer says it, that's it. But companies don't want that side of it either. The barbecue trucker, this is one of the reasons I chose Maverick, no team driving. Oh, good. So Maverick is keeping the person up, which is the way it should be, right? GP Transco, we mentioned we want to do another giveaway soon. We're thinking the Garmin Desi 580. Oh, that sounds fancy. What does everybody think about that? Glenn wants to know if GP Transco's on the monkey is in the truck yet. I'm sure they have a committee that they formed for that. How about Maria McNally? Can't wait for the day when you see a Sierra England truck drive up to the fuel line and 6 people pop out. It's like a clown car of trucks. They're ordering new Freightliners only. We're considering getting classic Peterbilts for senior drivers, 2 million miles, but aren't sure yet. Oh, you know what? GP Transco, some places do, and I think I would really like this, and I don't know what you're going to do about it, but after so many years, like million mile or 2 million miles, and a driver's done all those miles with you, maybe let the drivers, kind of like Western does. Even though Western pay is so low, they let the drivers order some options in the truck that they're ordering. So you can let the driver up-spec the truck for them, after they've been there a long time. Certainly not somebody that just started. I bet drivers would really like it, within your, maybe they can get a 13-speed or they can upgrade the interior or something like that. I would get all the same kind of truck just for the mechanical, so the mechanics, if I have an easier time fixing them, but that's what I'm saying. 4 killed in the Denver I-70 crash. Okay, so 4 killed and many people injured. 750 is not near enough to just cover all the damages, much less all the injuries. GP Transco does not have a Canada terminal. They only go to, not from. Where do the proceeds go if you buy a trucking t-shirt? I get the proceeds from that. From the Trucking Answers t-shirt, like the Roller Wiener shirt. among several others that I have over there. So that is one way to do it as well. It's Roller Wiener Monday. All right, there you go. I sell 2 or 3 of those a month, so that's not a huge money maker there. Oh, I got a brand new 389 with Smith, right? But they run a lot of Pete's. I just think it's easier for a company if they have all the same kind of truck to fix them. They don't have to keep double the parts and train mechanics on 2 kinds of trucks. That's, I'm trying to say something that where a company can do something for the driver, but it also makes it just as easy for the company. So we order Cascadias, but these drivers get the VIT interior and a 13-speed, stuff like that, The service tech told me yesterday he had to pull the driver's truck into the bay because he couldn't. Oh, who trained that? Really? How does the driver get around if he can't pull the truck in the bay? I mean, really? Oh, I can't get in that spot. It's too small. You're fired. Talk to stakeholders. Who's giving the biggest kickback? We surveyed our drivers and they voted for a Cascadia. That's what you're saying. It was close, though. I tried to get the Volvo in there, couldn't get it in there. The congressman is a lawyer whose clients are mostly from truck accidents. Seems $2 million will work. What do you think about increasing it some? I mean, it's been the same amount for a while, and $750 is not a lot of money anymore. Does GP Trans go hard from West Virginia? I think so. We'll see what they say. The barbecue truck, I just can't sleep in a moving truck. That's the other thing. Here's somebody new. They've never been in a truck, and so now they have to sleep and stuff. Yikes. I can't sleep in a moving truck either. So if you're teaming, good luck. You won't find me doing it. James Faust, not worried you're late. Hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate you coming in today. Michael hates the collision system on the Freightliner. Bendix on the Pete doesn't hit the brakes, making a turn. Yeah, I'm not a fan. James Faust. Hey, yeah, who do I work for? Wait, I don't get that. I don't get that often, so I don't ever say who I work for. Thank you for asking, though. It keeps them out of my videos for people that just joined, right? I also don't recruit. Boy, how many drivers are recruiting out here? Not me. Keeps them out of there. Michael, I don't trust anybody else drive when I'm trying to sleep. I teamed many years ago for a little bit at Amoco before they closed up shop over there. I just could not tolerate it, okay? Every bump, you think you're going to die. Oh, I'm dead. You have to open the curtains. Well, what do you know? I'm still alive. Okay, so you go back to sleep, you're dead again. I can't take it. Driver Appreciation Week is pulled pork, black beans, baked beans, we'll say. Pasta salad at Rouen. That's really good, too. At least it's something. At least they acknowledge you. My micromanager won't pay you layover pay. He said most companies don't pay layover pay. My opinion is you should go work somewhere else. And also, that's a excuse like you're 9 years old. I'd say to the boss, what are you, 9? And I do say that kind of stuff, which they probably don't like. But I'd say, so what? If everybody jumped off a bridge, you should say, would you do it too? That doesn't prove anything. That does not prove anything. And that's just horrible to say, oh, I won't. Nobody pays that. So what? You could start a new trend. Tell them, start a new trend. Start paying it. Does anybody know about Girton, Illinois? I've never heard about them. The collision system can be annoying. As far as you know, some firmware updates. Oh, to make it less. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, that would be really good if they would do mine too. Depends on why you're laid over. Not to me. If you're laid over, they can't give me a load. They need to pay me. Some maggots sold your Ram McNally last week at a garage sale. Only asking $50 for it. James Faust, new haircut. First one to notice. Thank you very much. Yes. You are the first one to notice. I appreciate you saying that. Remember, at Haircut Corner, half a head of hair is half price. At Smith, you get your driver of the year. You able to trick out your new truck they order for you. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like the idea that maybe if you have 1 million safe miles at a company, because look, I don't want to order a truck for somebody that's 2 years there and a driver of the year, and then, it should be something for people that really stay that are your best drivers. But yeah, that's still good. Look, time they do that, it's great. And that's unusual for a company to do that. I've only seen a few of them do that. Dewey, 3 full-growns having a donut party in the chicken house. Little word is out at northbound I-90 in Illinois. Night Transportation lets you choose your own truck and amenities, TV, even the color of the truck for 1 million miles. Really? I haven't. Do they put your name on it or something? I mean, how would I know that? Maybe I've just never seen one. Well, I've never seen an off-colored night truck that says 1 million miles. That's pretty good. It's Driver Appreciation Week. You're just glad you have a job. Yeah, at some places, All right, what my company's doing, they sent out their regular Monday safety message from a person that doesn't drive and is legally prohibited from driving because they don't have a CDL. And so we take that with a grain of salt. And that's it. And so getting nothing this week. Love it. That's what I was going to get. See, I always say I like a big company, but this is the downside of a large place is that some of them are so large, they don't even notice stuff like this. So, and the bot doesn't drive. So what do they care? They don't even notice. Oh, driver appreciation. They don't know anything about it. My CDL test to get your license was with a different certified trainer. Trainer was one road test and PDI to get CDL was with second person. 2 people have to pass you over here in West. That's good. You know, and you should be able to pass with anybody. So yeah, but this once you go with a trainer on the road, they should be up if you're driving. They're not training you otherwise. Oh, here's the GP Transco Exotic Pet Approval Team. Works hard on saying no to drivers of monkeys, parrots, snakes, reptiles, and so on. Fletcher, North Carolina. All right. Sam, the Exotic EPA. I love it. My CDL, where did I go here? I'm lost again. I'm lost, Sam. I was a yard jockey at Western distributing for 3.5 years. I enjoyed it and they gave you a start in the industry. They just needed to raise the pay. Look, do they not have the nicest trucks? I've said that. They are great looking trucks. Some of the nicest trucks on the road. Some of the lowest pay I've ever seen for an experienced driver. I don't get it. I mean, and they let you spec your truck out. You get to pick certain things from it. That cannot make up for pay. I can't go to Duke Energy and say, look, you guys, look at my truck. And they go, but you have an electric bill to pay. Yeah, but I got to put extra gauges in my truck. You know, that's not how it works. I'd rather you pay me and I just had a regular truck. Their pay was 36 cents last time I looked for experience. That's really, really low. 1 year of recent CDL class experience is required for passing at GP Transco. Right, you need a year at GP. Western has nice looking Pete's. They have some of the nicest looking trucks on the road and you get to spec them. But that doesn't make up for being 20 cents plus low on pay. Nomad throws every option right down to the gauge package. Right, they do that, right. But I can't pay my bills with that. That's the thing of it. You know, I just can't. And it doesn't make up for... I can understand a few cents. We're letting you choose your truck. They're 20 cents low at least. I haven't looked at their pay in a little while, but... do I know if the ShipX is $11.50 net or gross? It's like $11.67 gross, of course. They always pay everybody in gross because everybody's net is different. Depends on your deductions. That's how you chose the option. Oh, because you own the truck. Right. Well, that's another way to do it. But they let company drivers choose a lot of options there too. They also offer paid training there. Hey, Monty, hello. What's happening? K. Wayne. Oh, of course. We can always go through for a parrot break. Don't be sure to get your blue parrot. Of course. You got to be legal on the road. GP Transco is here, who I mentioned earlier. Check out GP Transco right here at this website. As usual, if you want a decent job in the industry. Also, watch Jay every Tuesday at Auto Transport Intel. Business coaching for everyone there. So be sure to check them out. That's at 8 p.m. Central. Right here on YouTube. All right, so when we click on... The cat was not impressed with that, as she isn't. It's quite common for her, though. She's not impressed with a lot of things. I'm in a million mile for Werner. I got an upgraded Freightliner with DirecTV. Is that the deal there at Werner? That at a million miles you get a better truck with DirecTV? And I didn't know these companies were doing this. You know, they should put this out there that they do this. Cassius King, you just made it. You're at the Godfather's Pizza Buffet. All right, company, what's going on? It's good to see you. By the way, which Godfather's has a buffet? I mean, there's only one from me. It's about 80 miles away is the closest one. No buffet. So that is great. I saw you put a video out, and I'm going to go check it out later. So there you go. And thanks for coming in. Godfather's Pizza Buffet. When I was training at Werner, I got $650 a week. The trainer got all the miles. That's common. We're doing 6,000 miles, so he got 12 cents. He slept a lot. I thought it was great. He didn't know any better. That's the thing. People don't know that it's really not how you should train people. But think about it with your kids. If you have kids, or you don't even have to have kids to think when you were in school, what if the teacher would have gone to sleep every day? They just hand out something and tell you to do it and go to sleep. That's the same as telling somebody to drive while you're sleeping. You do the work and I will sleep. You'd never tolerate. Your parents would have marched down to the school immediately and burned the school down. It's the same thing. Trainers should be up. If you have kids and they went to college, pay all this money, and the teacher pulls out a cot and goes, I'm going to snooze through this. No way would anybody tolerate it. You wouldn't tolerate it anywhere. Clay, every bump and you're dead. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Are you, boom, dead. Open the curtain, think, oh crap, I have to be in a truck forever, for all of eternity. Oh, wait, I'm still alive. And then you go back to sleep. That's how it was. And I'm like, forget this. And by the end of the week, you're a zombie because you've slept 2 hours by Friday. No way. Oh, Market Skirtin out of Kansas City is a Tinker company. Oh, I don't get too many of those on here. Michael called KLLM and asked him how he got 9 million miles. And the recruiter told me he likes driving. And he's been with KLLM since day one. Oh, that's funny. Because in the article, he says he was not a KLLM his whole time. That he's not been KLLM his whole time. That it's in fact 9 million career miles, not all of them at KLLM. So you could, if you want to call him, tell him, look, you're lying even about something that is already a lie. That's great. Cassius King looks like I got my hairs cut. Yes, haircut corner. Half a head of hair is half price, $7.50. My broker pays me layover pay and detention of $50 an hour. That's more like it. Now you don't mind waiting. And there's no reason that they shouldn't pay you for your time. They're holding up hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment. That costs money. You run a backhoe, it costs by the hour, whether you use it or not. Same for a truck. T-Man is so green, you don't even know who to start with. I'd like to pull tankers. Have everything but hazmat. Moving to Arizona. Notice that most tankers don't take newbies. Not all of them do. That's correct. There's a CCC in Florida. Tankers in the southeast area does take new students, but I don't find too many tankers that'll take students. There's a Ruan job. Ruan, somebody mentioned. Right up here, Fair Oaks. They haul milk. Now, I don't know if they do it out there. They will train. It says in their ad, they'll train you on tankers. So I don't know if they'll do it out there, though. I'm even mad the math for KLLM and Mr. Muse, the recruiter, defended the 9 million mile claim to death. It's incredible. He didn't even read the article. The article says the guy didn't work there his whole career. That it's 9 million career miles, not all at KLLM. I love it. So they got to lie about something that they already lied about. He was born with a CDL. Oh, he's born with a stick shift in his mouth. James Faust wants to know what's going on with Knight going to the Supreme Court. Yeah, Knight was sued by drivers that said, hey, you need to pay us for our time outside of driving time. All that time fueling, all the time, doing a pre-trip, doing a post-trip, all our paperwork, everything that's not driving should be paid at least at minimum wage, because we're getting paid to drive by mileage. So the rest of the time should be paid minimum wage. Well, it turns out that Knight won that. The Supreme Court said no. As long as your entire week divided by your hours averages at least minimum wage, that's good enough. And so remember, 70 hours is $6.16 and as $6.16 a week gross. So if you get that, you've made minimum wage. Michael, I need live chat GPS so I won't get lost. That's true. I do need it. But the problem would be it'd be Rad McNally, and I would, or it would be Garmin like I have in the truck, and it wouldn't take me where I need to go. Swift's head safety person drove a city UPS truck. That's better than most places. You got to give them that. Most places, they can't even drive a pickup truck. Mark at least drove something not like others, right? We have never seen a driver decide to pick an extra nice truck over high pay. Some companies pay well and have nice trucks. Don't stop searching. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Western has super great trucks. They're great looking long nose trucks. They look great. But the 36 cents, I mean, it's just a killer. But, I got a lot of grief from the drivers. Oh, this is a great place. I'm like, look, you're 20 plus cents low in the industry. You're way low. In the 30s, I mean, is incredible for an experienced driver. I cannot pay my bills with a long-nosed Kenworth. I just can't. WV, my local job at 5 years with no accidents or safety issues receive a leather jacket and 25-karat gold ring with 5 diamonds, one added each year. That's all right. That's something too, right? ShipX is $900 a week after deduction. Salary, that includes, remember, any off time. So if you've earned home time, you get paid including the weeks that you're off. You don't have to worry like, oh, I'm going to take some time off. I'm not going to have a check. That's the thing about a salary is you get paid it every week. Where's Grace? She just tuned in, sitting here loading. She is thinking about mega carriers. That's what Gracie is doing at the moment. She's considering which mega carrier she would like to go to. And she doesn't know which one it will be. And she would be a good trainer there because she would sleep through it. At Smith, I got a nice truck and net average $1,100 a week. Yeah, so you want a good pay. You don't just want a nice truck. You should have a truck where everything works, certainly. But you can't just take a long-nosed Pete and say, because of this great truck, I'm going to accept 20 cents a mile less. That's ridiculous. You should still get a decent wage. Monty, hey, Mark, what do I think about the cattle haulers being exempt? Yeah, well, cattle can't sit there like everything else. So I kind of almost give it to them on that. It's not fair to the cattle to have to do all these breaks and stuff. There's so few cattle haulers. I don't mind it. That's a legitimate exemption. Not like these other companies that come up with exemptions. We've got live loads because it's cattle and bees and, other live loads. So I don't mind it much. Ralph, does the cat get the spec or cat box? Holy mackerel. There's 3 litter boxes here. So of different sizes. Absolutely. No, Matt, I'd rather drive a cheap truck for better pay than a high-end truck for low pay. Yeah, at least if you're going to do it that way. I want the air and stuff to work. That's, it's not too much to ask for that. But to say, I'll take a 20-cent pay cut so that I can have I can work. That's basically, you're like a company driver, paying $400 or $500 a week to the truck. To have that truck, that's crazy. You might as well lease the truck then, because it wouldn't be that much more to lease it yourself. K-Dub, your boss started doing full spec W900s for over the road with a 565 Cummins. Nice. And 18 speeds with studio sleepers. Wow. Wow, you're living large. That's bigger than my first apartment. Michael, cattle haulers have a whole different schedule and literally a live load. Yeah, I don't mind the live loads, bees, cattle, all that stuff. There's not that many of those drivers. Cash is King, Godfather Buffet in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Under $10. So there, I got a long drive. I might as well go to the one in Maryville. David, good afternoon. It's good to see you here. Bruce, what do you haul? Tank, reefer? I do vans. It's easier. I did all this other stuff. I've done tanks for United Citrus, right? United Citrus, flats at Regal Transport. But that turns out that's a lot of work. So I'm all into the easier work thing now that I'm in my extreme upper 30s. Michael KLM started in 1932. He's old as dirt in his mid-90s. He must have started the day they opened. I estimate you'd certainly have to have 70 plus years, I think, to get 9 million safe miles. And remember, 70 years ago, you'd have had a tough time getting, 2,500, 3,000 mile weeks with no roads yet when we're just building the interstate system out. So I remember maps where the interstate had dotted lines on for a few of the interstates. So I cannot imagine. Wow, Bill needs a haircut. Your hair was a little long the last time I saw it. Trucker Hershey, recruiters lie. They're lying about a lie, though. They're taking a lie and adding on to it. GP, one of the best photographers, drives over the road with her cat. So do a lot of Instagram. I mentioned your Instagram earlier, and Facebook truck photos have a cat sitting behind the windshield. If you look closely, yeah, you have a lot of great Instagram pictures there. Al Johns, I loved Werner. Thought it was a good company. Now I know that they are average. Yeah, what made you flow? Flyo was getting stuck at a dock for 23 hours and no detention bay. That kind of stuff shouldn't happen. There should be a policy where you get paid, certainly. Because, look, they got paid for that. I have the tariffs at a lot of these companies. I don't know if I have Werner's tariffs, but a lot of these companies charge $70, $80, $90 an hour for detention pay. So I know they didn't sit that truck there for a day without getting some money on it. When I worked at Werner Trucking Journeys, the deal was for every 1,000,000 miles you drive, you get to spec a new truck. And you get a certain amount of budget to put in whatever amenities you want. Fridge, DirecTV, that's not a bad deal. So it's a driver that's been there, add stuff to your truck. Yeah, that's great. You should put your name on it too. I think they should put your name on it. Trucker Hershey saw an ad that said no Rand McNally miles. Is that the same as household goods miles? Yeah, we don't. That's the thing. What exactly are they talking about? Probably. I'd call them and say, do you pay practical miles? Is that what you're talking about? Because why don't they put it there? We pay practical miles, not no Rand McNally miles. It makes you wonder why they don't just put it in there the correct way. Why are they trying to word it like that? Werner wouldn't hire you because your credit was in the crap. Or what do they care about credit? Although I've heard some trucking companies check your credit. Like that makes any difference. I'm like, yeah, I need a job. I ain't got no credit. Okay, I got to pay all my credit cards. That's why I'm coming to work here. But I've heard that. I've heard that. Indian River trains for tanker. All right, there's one that'll train on tanker. That's good. I'm 21, got 9 million miles in 21 years. You're already ahead of that guy. They'll be putting your name on the wall. Cash is King has got 9 million miles of reverse with doubles. Yeah, go tell KLLM that. We got people here going in reverse with doubles with that many million miles. Michael popped out and got tied to the steering wheel with the with the umbilical cord. Chris, A&R Transport trains dry bulk tankers, but must have 6 months unless it's changed. Yeah, you can, plus, you can get these 6 months go by pretty fast. Heck, the train will be sleeping during most of it. Clay's $900 a week after taxes, but that's also in your week off. Don't forget that. Bruce is a hazmat tanker. I haul refrigerant gases, and you should too. Well, it wouldn't be that much work at least, right? Hauling beasts is perfect on a flatbed during DOT brake inspections. You don't get pulled over. Yeah, I bet hauling bees you never get pulled over. Does Gracie pass the PTI? Yes, she inspects them every day, makes sure they're all perfect for her. Clean twice a day for her as usual. Michael, have I got a chance to run super singles yet? I haven't seen any of them around. Tanya got a 2020 Pete from Celadon. Oh, one of their new trucks from that money they just got. Love the truck, but don't know what's going on with Celadon. Heard they got a bailout loan. That's correct. But they won't disclose from whom. Oh, from Swift. Oh, that'd be sweet. Swift does that. That's how they buy all their companies. They give companies money. That's how they got Simon or whatever, right? They give companies money. Then when they can't pay it back, they take over the company. That'd be interesting if it was them. But that's how you got the new truck, right? They got a bunch of money, and so they're buying a bunch of trucks. That's what they said. Enjoy that truck. Well, you can. I didn't check their stock today. Maybe somebody can check it and post up here if it's over $3 yet. Al, air has to work. Power steering, yes. Windows shouldn't leak. Yeah. You've had crap trucks. Oh, yeah. I mean, holy mackerel. Mostly at JB Hunt. Normally over the road, I get an okay truck. But I've had some pretty horrible local trucks, certainly. Super terrible. Where did I go? I'm lost again. Right. Of course, Mark, why do you even do this? You don't know what you're doing. The barbecue trucker, why can't these companies see that sleeping is not Goodwill training? Are they too focused on making money? Yes. Because for them, sleeping is Goodwill training because they make double the money in the truck. They still have one payment or whatever that fixed cost is for that truck. It doesn't go up. And so all they got to do is buy some more fuel and have two people drive the truck. Yeah, they love it. They love it. Sam, a friend of mine runs from Denver to North Platte, all drop and hook and no waiting for other drivers or customers. That's exactly correct. Isn't that great? Headed to Tate and Lyle and Lafayette, right around the corner from me. I can almost see the plant from here. The companies don't pay enough to train, and team is the only way they make money and will train. Well, the trainer gets all the money, so he loves it. The student doesn't realize that they're getting hosed. Company makes money. Everybody's happy, right? Michael, I've seen a few Celadon owner-operators with for sale signs. Yikes. And it usually, if a company like Celadon all of a sudden gets brand new equipment, after running old equipment, it's usually getting ready to sell. It's easier to sell with all better equipment, certainly. But they did just get that money. Look, if you're at Celadon, I'd at least be ready. You should do this anyway, I always think. I'd be ready to go somewhere else. No matter where, I'd always know where I'm going to go. Oh, that rhymed too. Tanya has a Cummins ISX, think pulls nicely, 45,000 beer loads. That's good. Enjoy that truck. And look, they may make it through and be good. We don't know. I thought they were going to close, but once they got that money, I thought, cash is king. 23 hours with no pay is crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. You gotta go out of that place, which you did. But to think like, oh, that's okay to do to people, that's no way to do that to people. Oh, we could just sit you for a full day and not pay you anything. That doesn't make any sense. I got my license with Stevens Transport and had a trainer with 18 years. He was great. See, that's the thing. You got lucky. You got a good trainer, taught you a bunch of stuff. That's great. But you would admit, you just never know. It's like a roll of the dice. Make sure your trailer is so clean you can eat off the floor. Nice. 23 hours at a dock, whether you're paid or not. It's better if you're paid. Let's be honest about that. Fred has driven 9 million inches. I actually thought maybe this guy is in metric, but it's still like 5 million miles, so it was still too much. So Swift is a loan shark? Kind of. Yeah, that's what they do. They'll loan these companies money, and then when the company doesn't pay it back, then suddenly it's now Swift. Oh, amazing. They kind of repossess the entire company. Man, I sat in California for 2 days at a pilot next to a flatbed hauling bees. Why is he sitting for 2 days hauling bees? Is it true U.S. Express owns Landstar? I don't think so. Somebody out here from Landstar. There's usually I have a Landstar driver, but I haven't heard that. Maybe. Earthsun. Texarkana aluminum is the worst place to deliver. How long are you there? Cassius King says SuperValue checks your credit score for CDL. It doesn't make any sense. It's a catch-22. I need a job to pay off debt, but can't make money to pay off the debt because you can't get a job. It's crazy. That I can't pay my bills. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to work so I can pay my bills. Right? I wouldn't let them do it. I don't think companies should do it. It's none of their business. Your credit, how are they going to use that information too? Now they have all your credit information? I mean, no way. But that's none of their business. Oh, yeah, so I have a car loan. Okay, so what? I have 40 credit cards or whatever. That's none of their business. Can you do your job? That's all that matters. What do they think? You're going to sell the SuperValue, the groceries or something to somebody to pay off your debt? Trucking Journeys. Werner has a program to sell you one of their old trucks or two, at least your brand new truck. And both, that's different. To sell you a truck or buy a truck, that's different for a credit check. If I'm coming on as a company driver, it's none of their business about credit. It just isn't. That shouldn't matter. Why do they not hire you? Because you don't have good credit. Yeah, I don't have good credit because the place I was at paid me $300 a week. And so now I'm trying to come to your place where you pay better so I can pay my bills. So that should be a great thing, not a bad. I mean, all these bills should be, if nothing else, I want to hire people with a bunch of bills because they're the ones that need to work. They're the ones that have to go to work. People with no bills are like, I'm calling off Tuesday. I don't care if you pay me. Cassius King says Landstar's a publicly traded company. Oh, all right. There you go. So they're public. Sean, so they're not owned by U.S. Express then. Sean, as a company driver, would I be allowed to have my dog with me? Or is that only owner-operators? Yeah, a lot of companies will let you have a pet, including GP Transco, among many others. But they will not. Remember, GP Transco does not allow any primates. So Celadon is $1.70. Okay, Mike, thank you for that. $1.70. Awesome. You also, Mob saw Celadon with a brand new T680, right? And you were shocked. No, they bought a bunch of new trucks. They said they're changing their whole fleet over. Michael, Sean, you can ask the company, but if it's state certified service and comfort animal, oh, well, I guess, okay. If you have a service animal, you can bring it. If you're blind, you can bring your guide dog with you as well. Cassius King, KLM meant to say 9 million minutes. I love that they got called and then defended it. I love that. I waited to do that video also for a few days to see if KLLM was actually going to come out and say, oh, this is what we meant to say was this. That's what I waited. They never did. I thought, oh, okay, we're going to go with it then. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Glenn, last week I sat at Home Depot from Wednesday to Thursday night. Oh, since I was a day early, you didn't get paid. They told me to deadhead 400 miles all night. I guess since you're a day early, but if there's too much time on that load too, that's the other thing. So they give you 700 miles and they go, oh, it delivers in 4 days. It's not fair that you don't get paid for it. Then they took you to deadhead, right? And so you're tired, right? It just doesn't make any sense. And you'd think the companies wouldn't want you sitting there, and then deadheading and doing nothing, tired. It's just crazy. Maverick said they do not check your credit. Yeah, they shouldn't. My truck is in Texarkana at Lone Star Truck. I would, Cassius King, you'd hire the person with the most debt. At least they got motivation to work. That's what I'm saying. You got the more credit cards that you're behind on, that's who I want to hire. Earthsun, 22 and a half hours Wednesday and up to almost 8 today. That's ridiculous. BJ and the Bear need not apply. They don't need it. Dan, sorry you're late. You were getting a Smith transport driver mad. All right. There's some here too. Don't get these people mad. Companies usually check credit if your job involves collecting cash from customers. Can't control your own money. They don't want you in control of their money. All right. We can almost understand that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to steal money. Stealing money and, being bad with money. But okay, we'll give you that. If you're going to drive a Brinks truck, maybe you get a credit check. I could go with that. Most people that are over-the-road drivers, we don't collect money. I can say in my whole career, I've never done a COD delivery in a semi. Al is now a local delivery driver, make $23 an hour. No overtime, but you're home every night. and make $1,000 a week, and the schedule's weird, 1 a.m. or 1 to 2 p.m. to 1 or 2 p.m. Well, that's nights. You don't get any problems there, and you're home every day. That's way better than trying to find parking. And the best is no idling 100 degrees out. Gotta love it. Yes, I mean, your place, consider how much they make on some of these loads. They don't let you run the truck, or at least they gripe at you about it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Would they do that at their office? Oh, we'll turn the air off today. Mike, your company pays their trainees hourly plus per diem plus hotel, and you're never teamed. It's all local training. That's the way it should be. So another great place. And they probably have a lot less turnover in their trainees because they're getting trained and getting treated well. Get load there as soon as possible. Joshua, if a receiver won't accept due to being early, call your people to drop in a yard. Depends how many yards you have. You may not have a place that has a bunch of yards. That sounds awesome, but if you're local, why the hotel room? It depends where they're coming from, I guess. It happens all the time there, says Earth Son. That doesn't do you any good, right? It doesn't help you pay your Duke bill. Then you're going to be behind on your credit. Then you're not going to be able to get a job because you have bad credit. Tell them, hey, you guys are forcing me to have bad credit. I'm never going to be able to leave this lousy place. Steven is working and going to miss the company driver appreciation feast at work again. That's why I make my own food out of your truck. I think the companies, rather than doing that, they should give you a card or something to go eat. And I've always thought they ought to give you a gas card. Everybody needs to fill their car up or whatever. What about that? That'd be another good thing that they don't usually do. They give you all this food, but only during a few hours at the headquarters. Michael, I delivered a JIT that I picked up 2 days late and delivered 1 day early. Wow. And you have 9 million miles. Sean, if I bring up all these great points you made with contention, like detention pay, trainer getting per miles pay, well, you get $600 a week. Will I get told to kick rocks? Yeah, pretty much. Can you negotiate? Not really. You don't have any, you wouldn't have enough standing to negotiate. They'll just say, look, this is what it pays. And then they write down, this guy's a problem, watch this guy or whatever. So yeah, they just won't do anything about it. I remember your father collecting COD many times, Mad Maldy. Have you ever collected a COD? Have you ever done it? I never have. A lot of companies are in cahoots with one another for a small fee, of course. That's true. Werner doesn't run credit. Yeah, and I can understand. Look, if you're leasing a truck, which you shouldn't do, buying a truck, whatever, they're going to run your credit. I'm a company driver. That's none of their business. Glenn stopped at the TA to get roller wieners on a 30-minute break. Are they giving them out free? What's the TA doing this week for Trucker Appreciation Week? Anything? Urson got $125 for 22 hours. Big deal. Make more on vacation pay, but what? $5 an hour? A little over $5. You should say, look, can you at least pay me minimum wage? That'd be a way to at least guilt them a little bit into it. Trucking Journeys does not run credit for company drivers. Michael Muller, probably told to get kick rocks. Yeah, I think so. They're not going to do anything more for you than whatever their pay is. So $600 a week is not horrible. I've seen half of that at some places. And, so after a few weeks, you can usually make a little more money. They're not going to do much for you. Detention pay and all that, the trainer's getting the miles where you get $600. That's how they all do it. Most of them. I got paid 48 cents on all miles. The 21st, they bump you to 50 and back pay if you hit 10,000 miles and no incidents. I've hit it every month. That's really good. So if you work harder, they pay you more. Imagine that. Man, and if you're safe, you get money. I love it. Man, if I was told not to idle at 100 degrees, I'd do anyway and tape the pedal down. Yes. Oh, look, I agree. That would be the end of it. Like, we're idling, you put me in a motel, or we're done, I guess. Because it's not like you're going to be able to sleep in the truck. I guess you could sleep. Some of these guys still do it, I assume. Open the door of their Pete, because the Pete had the sleeper door that the whole side of it opened up. And I've seen people sleeping with that door open. Now, I don't think I would do that. But I've seen people doing it. Cassius King says the company barbecue at the OTR companies is for the office staff. And that's true. You just happen to show up. They're like, if we do this, some drivers are going to get food too. Well, it won't be many of them, so we don't have to worry about too many. Stephen Taylor, good idea, but no one will keep it honest who went jumping terminal to terminal. Mike, it's on line haul doubles training out of schools in Salt Lake and Portland for drivers that live elsewhere. Oh, okay, so you're just there. They put you in a motel. 9 million minutes is only 6,250 days. That's, Yeah, so that'd be about right. I think that would be probably about right for this guy, Cal. I got $100 for 2 days layover. That's $50 a day. See how fast I did that? That's public school too, folks. That's horrible. Companies should never do that. That is terrible. Amazon just gave us a little care package today for driver appreciation. That's nice. I'm getting nothing. As I said earlier, for people that have just come in, right? My company so far is doing nothing. We got our regular Monday safety message from a person who does not drive and does not have a CDL license. And so far, I've heard nothing. No, hey, driver appreciation. Hey, thanks for being a driver. Nothing. Just, hey, you're an idiot, and this is how you can be safer from somebody who has no idea how to do your job. Heard TA and Pilot is letting mega carriers park in the fuel islands longer than they normally do. So all night instead of just 3 hours. Cash is king. I collected a COD at Cisco, but never as an over-the-road. Mafia ran restaurants always pay cash. Oh, right. Where's our Mafia, Arizona Mafia member, Roger Penske, to see if he collects COD? He probably does. It's all in suitcases. Maybe he'll come in today. Michael, when you train with Trans Am in 07, you got $50 a day in training. Wow. Did they pay it for all week? That's $350. $350. How about that, Glenn? TA is just doing a sweepstakes with Ultra One, so not everybody gets it. And double points, they do this a lot. That's and we'll give them a C- on that. That's not great. They should at least do something. Mike, my company is paying $18 an hour plus $50 a day per diem, loaded on Comdata card every day. All right, that's pretty good, because the $50 is tax free. Mountain doubles, not me. Al Johns. It's fun in the summer, right? Todd, my company is mad at you for telling us that it's Driver Appreciation Week. Yeah, they're like, who's telling people this? I hear that it's not for everyone. Don't you hate those computer screen truck drivers in the safety department? Yes. They send out a message every week. Oh, we've had 12 accidents, so be sure to do this and that. Oh, I'm like, the guy that drives the Prius C to work is going to talk to me about that? Okay. Right. Awesome. With the guy with the man purse and the Prius C. Okay. You'll get nothing and you'll like it. Some people said, look, we get to keep our jobs. Cash is King Trucking. Our weekly safety meeting consists of signing a sign-in sheet and getting paid a quarter hour. That's not bad. I've heard some places make you watch a video every month and you get paid. Some places make you do, online training. That's what we do here. We get paid for that. We do get paid for it, for online training. So at least that's something. And a quarter hour is something for literally for nothing. Omar is here from the Yang Gang. Don't forget about Andrew Yang 2020. Thank you very much for that, Omar. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming in every week, supporting your candidate, Andrew Yang. I'm ready to collect my $1,000 check. When is that happening? I was broken down for 6 days, made $500, but never covered the true loss on what I could have made running. That's better than a lot of places, $500. I will say that. And how are you broken down 6 days? I mean, I guess I'm just surprised at that. I get immediate breakdown pay, and I'd get a motel, but by the next day, for sure, they would have rented me a truck from somewhere. There's no way I'd sit for 6 days. But I cannot imagine them just letting you sit for 6 days. Maybe if you didn't have a load, you could get out of it. My company does nothing for drivers, all right? Our terminal manager will take all the metal scrap from the shop and scrap it and buy the drivers hamburgers, even barbecues. Well, look, you got to give him a little bit of credit for being scrappy. I said it. Stephen got $85 a day. It is low, but I will say that's more than some places will give you. Some it's like $75 a day after 2 days. So holy moly. I used to deliver alcohol in Detroit. We did COD on a lot of accounts that bounced checks. I would have up to $10,000 on you. Wow. Is this over the road though? Used to deliver alcohol in Detroit. I'm saying as an over-the-road driver, does anybody pick up COD OTR? Okay, Wayne, yeah, that's tree fitty. Who got the tree fitty on him? Who's doing that? Who heard about this potatoes? Who heard about the potato load? Oh my gosh. There was a load of potatoes that was left abandoned since apparently early August. And so the load in the trailer rotted, and it rotted so bad that if you opened the trailer, apparently it would kill everybody in the area with potato smell disease or whatever. I didn't say what it was. It emits some kind of vapor. Police escorted this load to the dump to keep cars away from it in case anything happened to it, and had a guy in a biohazard suit open the trailer doors so they could dump the potatoes out at the dump. Even the seagulls weren't eating it at the dump. I've never seen a potato load be escorted by the coppers. Cassius King, your terminal manager rented a soft serve machine today for driver appreciation. That's an unusual thing to do, but I guess that's something. Oh, Michael's in with the puns. Mark, my brother got $225 for 28 hours. That is very good in this industry. Brad says, shout out to American drivers. Happy Driver Appreciation Day from Canadian drivers. Thanks. You can come down here and participate in our day too. We appreciate you as well. We had a barbecue on Friday at the corporate yard, but I was up all night, so you didn't go. Yeah, if they have it on weekends, I've heard of some places doing that too. They'll have something on Saturday, but then people got to drive an hour in if they live a long way away to get a hamburger, and that's not the best idea. People are not thinking. You lost $4,000 to $6,000 in wages after you're hit by Schneider. It seems like that's a lawsuit right there. If their accident cost you lost wages, right, that should be part of a claim. Did their insurance not take that into account? Probably not. They probably only pay you household goods miles anyway. Stephen, DEF system is not good and offered you a regional truck. Turned it down. Plus you have a pet. They won't allow transfer unless your truck gets turned in. Oh my gosh. Well, then they could pay you to sit somewhere. I mean, come on. Stupid corporate policies. It's just stupid. Rotted potatoes are weapons of mass destruction. It appears so. There were 3 cops that were shooing traffic away and escorting this truck to the dump because apparently mad potato disease or whatever would get out if it opened up. It was a total mess. The person that opened it up looked like he was getting ready to go on a trip to Mars. Because potatoes ferment, how you think they make vodka? Well, I mean, the people in in Russia don't die from the fermenting potatoes, I assume. I don't think everybody in vodka factories dies. Michael, there's no oxygen in the trailer. It's like going in a silo. Look, I had no idea. Apparently, I'm the only one. I don't know anything about potato biology. But these potatoes, after a month of sitting in a trailer, apparently turn into some kind of weapon. Could we weaponize potatoes? Should we ban potatoes then? Could they be made into weapons? Or maybe there should be like an age limit on buying a potato? You should be carded before getting your spuds? I don't know. Highest grossing truck stop should give you a free tank of fuel and whatever we can carry out the store since they swindle us daily. Maybe whatever you like, supermarket sweep. You go in, you get 30 seconds, grab whatever you want. First thing I'm getting is one of them helmets, right? And running out with that thing. Is this mad potato thing on YouTube? I don't know. I saw an article about it. You can look up potato police escort, basically, and there was an article about it. I should have linked it, I guess, but I didn't. But I don't know if there's a video of it or not. I saw pictures of the police escorting this truck down the road like there's some kind of, can we take these? Look, let's be honest. Are the military growing, militarized potatoes? That's what we want to know. Red Monkey Trucking, hello. Thank you for coming in today. It's good to see you. What was in the potatoes? It was just potatoes, or was it? We don't know. Walmart is going to ban potatoes now. I think there are no potatoes. They're potatoes of mass destruction. Look, I'm not a biologist. I'm just a simple person, but I'm just saying that this potato thing, you know how many potatoes in there? They could issue everybody a potato and you could just let it become a weapon. We could never be taken over. Michael, have you ever had homemade vodka? No. It's like drinking gasoline. And in Germany, they make fuel from the V2 rockets. They made it for the V2s. No, I have never had homemade vodka. So I'll take your word for it. And apparently, would the potato have exploded? Maybe. The way they put it in the article is that there's some kind of, scent. Not a scent, but right, it's like a poison gas, basically, would have come out of the trailer and poisoned half the town, basically. And so they wanted no car. They didn't want any accidents or whatever because it would have been an environmental disaster. K-Dub has had milk sit in a tank for months before we had to shovel it out. Who gets to do that? Do you draw straws for that, or is it the person that left it in there? Cassius King says there's an article on CDL Life about it. All right, maybe that's where I saw it. Monty, I gave my driver $1,000 bonus this week. That's great. That is super great. I think you get the award of the week, certainly. James Faust thinks Super 10s are awesome. Now, here's the thing. What if this potato load, maybe that's why it broke down. I think maybe the truck had a Super 10, and they couldn't find anybody that was willing to drive it. They're like, no way. There's no way. I'll let those potatoes rot into weapons before I'll drive that truck. I think that was the problem with it. Need hazmat gear to enter Idaho. They're going to close the whole state off. Who knew you could weaponize a potato? Maybe I'm the only one. French fries are sticks of dynamite. What are we going to do? We're going to have to card people before they buy potatoes. Potato breakdown fast turns into liquid smell. Really? I'm going to have to get those potatoes. I put them in the fridge in March. I assume they're still good, right? The best truck driving video is a truck driver backing up at Piggly Wiggly. It shows why you need to get out and look. I've seen that. That guy needs some backing lessons. Universal background checks on all potato sales. Yeah, can you carry a potato with you now? I mean, are the DOT going to be looking for this? Do you have a permit for that potato? It's because of the carbs in potatoes. What about other carby vegetables like broccoli or whatever? Does the same thing happen to broccoli? Mashed potatoes are C4. Oh, formable, right? The potato peels in my sink didn't turn into vodka like you hoped. You don't like Mondays? You got to leave them in there for like a month, apparently, because this trailer sat closed. I don't know why. For a month. You mix bleach and ammonia, you get chlorine gas. That's true. Neither of those are in a potato, I think. Red Monkey Trucking. Mr. Potato Head needs locked up for doing that to his kids. I mean, look at what has been happening to our children. They've been poisoning our minds, literally, with their potato lore. Thanks for the show while driving on I-35 to Minnesota. You're welcome. Thanks for coming in. I do this every Monday at 8. That's Jay. Right at 1 p.m. Eastern. How about that? And apparently at 8, I was saying. Sam, my company is out of Idaho. Think you should get your hazmat. You know, ironically, I didn't see any placards. I wonder if it was going to actually go somewhere longer, they would have placarded this load. Is it a felony to mail tater tots to your enemies? That's the thing. Can we just leave potatoes outside? You put a potato in a flaming bag in front of somebody's front porch, you're going to go to jail now. We don't want that. K-Dub, we had some transfer station kids do it. Look like cottage cheese. That's gross. What is a transfer station kids? That sounds like a doll that was out in the 80s. New for Christmas, it's transfer station kids. Mob, if someone is mad at you, you're hiding potatoes under their house. Yeah, like, in 3 months, this is going to be bad. Wild Bill says, can you tell a robber I have a potato? You just start whipping spuds at him. It's like, oh, no, please. Please, not the potatoes. I don't want anything to do with that. Who saw this also? This trucking job loss. All right, that's one. So they say, look, there were 4,500 less trucking jobs in August than there were the month before. But look, don't believe in these trucking job losses. In fact, the year to date, we're still 5,100 jobs up. So because there's 1 month drop, okay, don't let all the doom and gloom and that kind of thing. That's not the case. When you look at the full year, we're up for the year and the rest of the year is looking good. Don't let these doom and gloom news sites and all that. Trucking is still good. If you're still going to get into trucking, get in. The 1 month is not the be all and end all. For all we know, some of the drivers that got out might have potato sickness. We don't know. Maybe and they're, you know what it affects first. Your eyes. Oh yes, I said it. That's right. Oh, really, Gracie? Well, I said it anyway because that's what I think. You better not cross the state lines with a potato. You're going to need a license for it. The Piggly Wiggly guy was having a stroke. Is that true? Broccoli has good carb. Oh, so they're good versus bad carb. I don't think the broccoli knows that. Sean, hilarious sense of humor. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's Monday, so I'm still good. They pump milk from our farm tanks, like mine, to transport tanks. That made me laugh. Yeah, I mean, look. You gotta admit, those kids, I mean, transfer station kids, right? Come in their own garbage can or whatever. Whoever's old enough to remember that, right, knows what I'm talking about. Transfer station kids. You can play with them. You can form them. You can pop their eyes out, right? Squeeze them and gas comes out of them. Potato cannons for everyone. Let's start the revolution. This is also cheap. This is cheap ammunition. What are potatoes, like $2.50 for 5 pounds or something, right? They're not that they're not that expensive at Meijer. I don't know. There's all different kinds. I'd have to look on the I'd have to look on the app. Whoa, what do we? You don't want to shoot the expensive ones too. You got to get the correct size and everything that fitting your canning. You just have to be careful about it. But I was amazed that the cops came out and escorted this thing over to the dump, all the way to the dump. And what about the people that work at the dump then? I thought about that too, because they show in the background there's a one of those things that drives around in the dump. They're brilliant, Mark. You know all that stuff, right? A front end loader, whatever it is, driving around in the dump, and it's articulated. I know that. What about that guy? He's like, holy mackerel, are those potatoes? He's running out of the other side of it. No, not the potato load. I mean, you don't know. You don't know what this guy's. Shouldn't this guy be all, packaged up? Because the guy opening the doors looked like the robot from Lost in Space, for crying out loud. Not James Fowles, Cabbage Patch Kids. Yeah, you remember garbage dump kids? I mean, come on. Dan, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Stephen, are we talking about taters? Look, this is in the trucking news. This truck, who abandoned for a month because it had a Super 10 in it, got abandoned, and these potatoes turned into weapons. They literally turned into weapons. That's what it said. When criminals, when potatoes are outlawed, only criminals will have potatoes. That's what we think about that. You can't, you spend $30, you could disable every car in town. Yeah, except Teslas, I guess, right? I played a game once where you had to throw potatoes instead of grenades. What game? Where were you playing that game? Let's just throw potatoes and not grenades at each other. Put down that potato and step away, sir. I see you. See? I said it again. We lost these trucking jobs last month because of the raid on Area 51. That's not for like 2 more weeks. That's September 20th. That's coming up. They can't kill us all. I hope everybody will be there. Which placard would you use for potatoes? That's the thing. I'm not. Which one is weaponized food? That's probably category 10. That's going to be a new category. And we'll probably all have to do some kind of hazmat training about that. You'll get I guess you can't get a P on your license. You can get a PO on your license for potatoes. So you have your potato endorsement. And so now, you can haul that. And then once you keep the endorsement for 6 months, it's upgraded to like SPUD endorsement. So then you can do Idaho. You can do all of them. You can do reds, purple potatoes, all the different kinds of potatoes. You just start out with basic Idahos, and you just have to move up with all the Michigan potatoes. You can get instant potatoes then, What about that? We could, oh my gosh, can we drop instant potatoes out of airplanes? Right, where am I going with this? Fill up the airplane. Could that be what all the lines in the sky are? Oh, that's something to think about. I'm going to start selling potato launchers on the black market. No background check. Not yet. Will the robot driver trucks eat those potatoes? Oh, they could just suck them right up as power for themselves. Am I planning on live streaming from Area 51 on the 20th? Is it a Monday? Is that a Monday? The placard is a picture of the cat from the sausage party. Wow. Cheap reefer trailer for sale, only used to haul 1 potato load. Yeah, they didn't say what they're going to do with that. Do you take that over? That's the other thing. If that actually is some kind of poison gas in there or something, sure, you dump all the potatoes out. If anybody saw the load of potatoes in a reefer, okay, every groove is full of 50 billion potatoes, and you got to take it over immediately and get a washout because it's still potato mess in there. Well, I mean, because they're just loaded on the floor. If you don't ever haul them, that's how I've always hauled them. They're loaded on the floor on a conveyor belt, front to back. They just fill it up, bingo, off you go. So the weight of them literally pushes all the spuds down in the grooves of your reefer trailer, and you get it washed out. If this is really a problem, what happens at the Blue Beacon? Do you just kill the first 3 guys dead, and just like the last guy's like, well, it's aired out enough. I guess, John's not coming back to work tomorrow or whatever, but I mean, I don't know. That's a legit question about that because that trailer's got to be washed out. Class 8 general waste. Oh, maybe. Glenn, we can use potatoes to raid Area 51. They can't potato chip all of us. Here's the thing. Remember, when they kill everybody at the beginning, all you got to do is get one person in there to hit the button and revive everybody outside. The 20th is a Friday. Yeah, it won't be live that day. Brings new meaning to hot potatoes. Oh, exactly. Dan says inhalation hazard. Yeah, that's actually might be true because that's what they were saying. So if you shut the doors, on the trail. Yeah, Texas Trader comes back to potato discussion. This is a legit discussion. The police escorted a truck full of literally rotten potatoes to the dump because it's after a month. And I guess I'm the only one that didn't know this. It had sat abandoned for a month, and the potatoes had basically morphed into some kind of creature inside there. And if you open the doors, you'd kill everybody within 100 miles. And the guy opening the doors at his trailer at the dump looked like he was on a trip to the moon. And they said that they escorted him because they didn't want to have an accident on the way. They cleared traffic off the road to let this potato load go through. So apparently I'm the only one that knows about this. And it's a legitimate question about the Blue Beacon or wherever you get a washout, because you're going to have to shut the doors to take it over to the Blue Beacon. Do you have to alert them? And who's going to wash it if you said that? Oh, you need to leave the doors open because I had to have a police escort. And so if you go in there right away, you'll probably die. So you need to wait a few minutes. Nobody's going to wash that trailer out. What do? They just burn it to the ground? Or do they boil it? Oh my gosh. Do they boil it? Can I haul a Mr. Potato Head in your sleeper? Apparently now we know you can't. Just let it sit for a month to air it out. You're going to have to leave the doors open for the Blue Beacon guy. They won't wash it out if it's too filthy. So the Blue Beacon can go, this trailer's too dirty for us to wash out. That's what you're paying them to do. Onions give off a gas, that's why we require vented trailers. Yeah, right. I've had loads, liquid loads, it seems, where you have to leave the doors open for 20 minutes and say, oh, we need to leave the doors open so we don't die in there. Maybe they should have vented the trailer in this potato load. But then who knows what would be coming out of those vents. What happens to the Blue Beacon people? Swing that trailer by the Beacon over the Ritchie brothers. Hey, you guys clean this out? Just say, oh, it was potatoes. 1,000 out of 3.5 million drivers quit or hop jobs every day. So for anyone to say there's a shortage, just a deboggle over, yeah, it's nothing. There's no shortage. Companies that have 4,000 trucks hire 5,000 drivers a year. There's no shortage in the industry at all. There's plenty of people coming in. They don't stay in because they get mistreated when they get started, and then they leave because they all go to companies not knowing that they're going to be mistreated there. Chemtrails, that's what I was thinking. Stephen, been all over the country, haven't seen one in months. Oh, well, maybe they ran out of Oritas. Ritchie Brothers will pay you to take that trailer. K-Dub, should I grow out a mullet to match my long hood Kenworth? Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Every driver should do that. There should be mullet month. Yeah, I think you'd look good getting in that truck. Yeah. No, that trailer needs to be washed out by the FDP to wash out with fire hose. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I wonder if the fire department could do that. They have all the oxygen too. Maybe they would take him over there. That's actually a very good idea. Daniel, who there's a more useful vegetable? Bombs, bullets, chemicals, rocket fuel, booze, childhood toys. This is something that people don't know about. I mean, this would have worked for me. I didn't know. Cassius King says, Blue Beacon washes out cattle haulers. Yeah, I have that. I've never had them turn one down. I guess I haven't had one dirty enough. I didn't know that a place that washes trailers would say, even we're not going to wash that trailer. Blue Beacon employees' parents had a lot of kids because, they're going to lose a few to potatoes. Yeah, look, some parents are like, look, I got more. Don't worry about it. Michael, I hauled plants in my reefer one time, and the barbecue would not wash it out because of all the soil on the floor. Well, what's the point of having a trailer wash out if you won't do your job? It's like going to the car wash. Oh, sir, your car's dirty. Don't bring that car in here. Well, yeah, that's why I'm here. Kind of like, I can't get a job because you have bad credit. Sir, you need money? We're absolutely not going to hire you. Uber Freight opens near Chicago, hiring 2,000 over the next 3 years. 2,000 2,000 owner-operators, right? I don't think they're hiring any company drivers. Am I right about that? I saw a cow pooping out the side and hit a four-wheeler's windshield. Never follow a cattle hauler. Don't walk near one either. Blue Beacon does not wash out livestock trailers, all right? Not with livestock in them. So they'll refuse. We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone we don't want to service. Do we know about this Uber Freight? Right. Uber Freight is owner-operators, from what I understand. I don't think they have any of their own drivers. Uber's not like the company that is big on having company drivers, certainly with all the problems that they're giving every state that is trying to make their drivers employees as it is. They're big on not having their own employees. They're fighting that tooth and nail in California, so I cannot imagine them having company drivers drive their semis. I never walk within 20 feet because you've seen a similar situation on these trailers. Don't get too close to them. Michael, Mike. My daddy, Ike, abandoned his Peterbilt and they had to replace the interior. It smelled so bad. Yeah, that isn't any good either. Just take the GP Transco's had some problems with that too. People turning their trucks in like that. Maybe those people had potato loads. Michael, just take the fire truck with the water cannon sitting behind it, wash it out for a day, and get disinfectant. Oh, yeah, why couldn't they just Febreze it? Sam, you had a floor-loaded carrot load, and it took Blue Beacon 45 minutes to wash it out once. Glad I didn't have to pay the bill. Yeah, look, it takes them a while to spray those potatoes, and I'll tell you, just like vacuuming, right? These guys that were spraying this thing out would not reach down and flick the potato out of the grooves. I'm watching them. He's in there working on this potato for like 5 minutes. Trying to spray it, spraying at different angles. He's trying to doing the math on it. Protractor out, everything. Got the whiteboard. Okay, if I come in at 12.7 degrees, spray at 40 pounds. Right. It took him forever to get a potato out of the things. Just get the potato out of there. But all of you that have hauled potatoes in a reefer know exactly what I'm talking about. They get jammed down in there. I saw a Blue Beacon wash out a cattle trailer last week in Knoxville. Maybe it's per Blue Beacon. And Monty, they do not wash livestock trailers. Maybe it wasn't too bad inside. Yeah, maybe these cattle were, not high fiber cattle. The General Motors Mark of Excellence. I was at the dentist when it went live. Congratulations. I wanted to watch, but didn't want to be that guy in the waiting room. Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Had cotton seeds loaded on my reefer, Michael, but that wasn't a cheap bill either. Those seeds were everywhere. Oh, that would be a disaster too. Oh, I'd have to close up the. You'd have to close up the reefer holes inside. Yikes. Daniel, 30 days missing. So the billing department caught this missing load, not dispatch. Apparently, the load's been there for forever. I mean, how does somebody just abandon a load? And don't they ask the guy, "Hey, did you ever deliver that load?" I mean, no, they didn't suggest like the driver died or anything happened, just the load just abandoned somewhere. Don't they go to the driver and ask him about it? Uber says it has 400,000 drivers. Yes, they say they have drivers, but look, I'm signed up with Uber. I have been for probably 4.5 years now. I'm not an Uber driver. You're an independent contractor, and as Uber makes you sign an agreement to, Uber is merely a technology company that allows you to utilize their technology that connects riders with people that would like to give them a ride, going in their direction. Monty, the EPA will not allow it. The potato launcher trailer, look, those things were just flying out of there. I thought there'd be like a cloud or something. Josh, we all need to tell the cops we have potato loads that get presidential escorts through Atlanta. At least we'd get through town. Who else? Okay. Who else has snuck through Atlanta at night? Went right through town? Come on. I've done that. I guess washing out a cattle trailer would be a crapshoot if you know what I mean. Yikes. I can't be the only one that has snuck through Atlanta at night. Never saw EPA at a Blue Beacon. Maybe it was a one-off thing. Last time I checked, your eyes were working correctly. Nice. I don't know. Maybe they might come by there and see, with all the chemicals that they're using or whatever. Michael, that's why you make a reefer floor potato scraper out of a broomstick and solid cutting board, cutting the grooves matching the floor grooves. And tape the reefer up with your partner's tape. Yeah, you'd have to. Otherwise, you'd get all those little seeds in there. Absolutely. I never thought of being Mr. Handyman and making my own tools. I can barely use tools that are made by professionals. I can't, look, like I said, a burning barbecue. I'm not making tools. I mean, I cannot imagine what that tool would look like. GP Transco is talking to a dozen Millis drivers this week. Wow. I wondered, they haven't really changed their pay or anything. I guess the drivers are just nervous. And I would be too. A new company's going to take you over. I'd be over. If I was at Millis, I'm looking at the Heartland pay going, wow, there's no way that this is not going to be combined. You had the plastic on it, you'd have to. Stephen hates Atlanta. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've gone through at night, you can admit it, and said, I'm just going to go straight through the middle. Glenn says, you mean Heartland, right? Not yet, not until the end of December, right? Monty, but a check. I've been hauling cattle for 35 years. Yikes. Go through Atlanta 3 to 4 times a week. Best time is 12 to 4, especially on Sundays. Do you go through the middle? That's what I'm saying. Have you gone through? I've gone through the middle. I admit it right here in front of everybody. earlier you said UPS is running trucks from Phoenix to LA. It's actually Tucson. Yeah, it's a limited area down there where they're allowed to drive, and they're running trucks. Now they have a driver and an engineer in the truck. So right now there's 2 people in the truck, but they're testing it. I'll give you that. Why? Weather is nice. There's little traffic. It's a geofenced area. It's pre-mapped. That's why they're running that area. It is decades before they can run a truck with no steering wheel across North Dakota in January. And it is 30, 40 years before they're going to be able to run a truck through town all the way to its delivery point, like in Manhattan or something like that. Brooklyn. No way. You are a long way from that. You woke up between a cattle trailer and a hog trailer. That sounds delicious. Stephen, your condolences. Cash is saying you have over 4,000 Uber trips. Really? Stopped being worth it a couple years ago? Uber makes all the money these days? Wow. I do it just during guarantees here, and to keep it as a plan B. In town, they'll guarantee $25 an hour on some weekends. So when I get in on the weekends, I'll just sit in my car, and then I go all the way to the edge, as far away from the bars as possible, right to the end of the service area, and turn it on and sit there. And I rarely even get a ride. And so they pay you $25 an hour for that. That's just cash money. Very nice. But I don't really pick people up in the car or anything. Texas, I hate 75 Atlanta and hate flying Delta at Hartfield. That's why we fly Delta. The wife flies Delta out of here to Seattle, but straight through, nonstop. And that's the only way to do it. Glenn says 9 million Uber miles. Todd, know anything about FedEx Freight for Teams? FedEx Freight for Teams at least always advertises really high pay. But I wouldn't do it if I wasn't an employee. A lot of them are 1099s because it's some contractor that's got some routes. So I would never 1099 anything. Because if you're driving somebody else's truck, they dispatch you, they pay the fuel, they decide the maintenance, you're an employee. The General Motors Mark of Excellence. Can't wait to get enough experience under my belt and head over to GP Transco. Hope the Millis guys aren't hosed over too badly. I don't know what's going to happen with those guys. They've got to be looking at the Heartland page, though, of pay and go, it's way less than we're getting. The trucks are not 70 miles an hour to Heartland. There's a lot of changes that are going to likely happen. They can't say, oh, it's all going to be the same. It probably won't be the same. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. They're going to have to make some kind of changes. It's good to have a bobtail tractor with super single so you can run in the left lane since it says no vehicles over 6 wheels. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. If that's the limit, 6 wheels, then you've got it. That's absolutely correct. Uber Freight is taking over the old post office in Chicago. Wow. That's a horrible location, really. According to the internet, a potato that haven't fully ripened have a toxin called solanine. Also, a Russian family of 8 have died due to rotting potatoes in their cellar. Who fills their cellar up with rotting potatoes? Solanine. You saw loads of corn and potatoes. I had everyone's eyes and ears. Oh. Wow. Really? Really? Holy mackerel. Is there anything more dangerous than a SWIT truck full of potatoes? That's a nuke on wheels. Yeah, look. Who knew we were hauling all this dangerous stuff? I had no idea about potatoes, really. The second Millis changes their pay, you're gone. But as of right now, nothing is changing. Steven says that, yeah. Now they said it doesn't take over till the end of December. They said nothing's going to change, but I mean, even you must think something's going to change. The two companies are not run the same at all, and they're going to have to merge some of that. So, and I agree, they must think that too. I don't think they can lower your pay, but they're going to do like the truck. I don't think the trucks are going to go 70 anymore, and you may not have a choice on the camera. I don't know what Heartland does on that. I know that, don't you get a choice at Millis? Maybe not, but right now, something's going to change. Something is going to change. I did 2 Uber freight loads and wasn't bad. Was paid in 2 days. No confusion. Only use them from time to time. Well, at least they paid you right away. It was a pay good. It must have been you took it. I've never even considered going through Atlanta. You were too scared. Look, at night, I'm like, I figured, look, the cops are going to think I'm legit supposed to be there, And so I'm just going to cruise through like I own the place. And so I did it. I've done it a number of times. So if a truck or trailer has super singles, it's technically a 10-wheeler. That's correct. Just sent you an article about Uber Freight. Thank you. I'll check it out. I'd rather do Atlanta than New York City. That's true. At least when you get somewhere, you can get backed in. What happened to Millis? Oh, they got bought by Heartland. Completely bought out, even though they called it a takeover, whatever, merger. I think that's what people at Millis got sent a message that it was a merger. But in the news, Heartland said that we bought Millis, including their schools and everything. So certainly something is going to change. It all gets completed at the end of December. Never know what will happen. Something is going to change. That's why you see a lot of taters on skateboards. Oh, that's good. I guess then they just poison everybody a little bit. Drove at Heartland when they had the covers 58 miles an hour. Easier to sleep in the seat than crawl over doghouse. Yikes. Those cab overs, boy, that was a while ago, huh? Heartland and Millis is heartless. Do potato loads require hazmat? Apparently they might. If the potato's in there long enough, I guess they do. K-Dub, we don't have limiters if Millis wants to come somewhere good and haul that moo juice. You got to be able to shift, though, right? K-Dub, or I think you said somewhere automatic. So you just didn't have, you just had the big 18. In Atlanta, you have to drive like you don't care about life. Then all four-wheelers get out of the way. Go through there 3 times a week. So do you go straight through the middle and don't care? Or do you wave your bill of ladings in the air like you just don't care? Millis, you can come over to Smith. Things always change, but if it's negative, poof, there I go. Exactly. Drivers are either leaving or looking to leave. Always have a plan B. I totally agree. If it stays the same and you like it there, right, of course you would stay. Maybe it'll work out better. We can hope it works out better. It's a bigger place. Maybe your insurance goes down and stuff like that. But the two companies just don't run the same. So I don't know what will happen with that. We can always hope that it gets better. But usually when these kind of things happen, it doesn't get better. It doesn't, it gets worse. It'd be worth always having a plan. All right, this is what I think I'll do at this point. And there's probably some people at Millis that need a month or 2 more to get a year in. So, and they're going to be able to get that through the winter time. And then you'll have your year and can go somewhere else. Because it's going to take time for stuff to change. They cannot lower your pay. I just don't see it. How are they going to go? How are they going to go and say, all right, now your pay, which was, whatever it was, is 3 cents, 4 cents less. Drivers, nobody would tolerate that. They'll be like, forget it. So I just don't see them lowering pay. They're going to do all these other things. Pay cannot be one of them. Cannot be one of them. Michael, I'm caught up with comments. Finally, right? K-Dub, nope, all our trucks are manuals. Oh, okay, fine. I thought you said somewhere automatic. So if they come in to haul the mood juice, they're going to have to also do the shift juice. Joshua, you think Ford and Chevy will get back to making proper Class 8 trucks? Oh, wow. Right. So we can get the more top kicks out here and Brigadiers? Nope. I just don't see it. It's too tight of a market, and there's already big players, as they say in it. So I don't think so. You want your Sterling back? You want your it wasn't an Aerostar. What is that one? That Ford that was aerodynamic. All the gauges were 3. Remember, everybody? 3 o'clock and all's well. Who remembers adding your Ford semi? All the gauges pointed to 3. When all the gauges were at 3 p.m., they pointed at 3, all of them. The idea was you could just look over your gauges and see 3. They all pointed the same way. Any gauge that didn't point that way was a problem. 3 o'clock and all's well. It was a great deal from Ford, which is typical of Fords because they're great. So, but I cannot remember the name of that truck. Aeromax? Aeromax, yeah. In trucking, things can change tomorrow no matter what you do. Yes, you should always be ready to go somewhere else. Look at the people at HVH. Be ready. Always be thinking, where would I go? Have a resume or have your information ready. You might need to use it today. Anyone remember MS carriers and stand-up cab over? Sure. I see trailers that have the MS carrier thing on them still, which not where you can read it, but like it's been taken off. Yeah. Owner-operators buy those trailers. Depends on the time of day. You've been through Atlanta on 75 with no issues. I always sneak through there at night, and I figure, look, the cops must think I'm supposed to be here. It's illegal to lower your rate, but it's not illegal to fire you. No, companies can lower your rate to, in fact, drivers don't even have the benefit of the Fair Labor Standards Act. So a company at any time can say, starting your next pay period, Monday or whatever, you're at 10 cents a mile, and you can either take it or leave. So absolutely, they can lower your rate, whatever and they could fire you too. Michael, yeah, the Ford Aeromax, right? All aerodynamic, 3 o'clock and all's well. It was great. I had a Ford 9000 with the two round headlights as one of my first trucks that I drove. Is there any website or resource that compares company plans and benefits side by side? Or is it he said, she said? Not really. There's so many companies. I mean, there's literally thousands of them. And you just kind of have to call and make your own chart. There's no like one place that compares all these companies. Plus, they change all the time. You call them this week, it's one thing. You call next week, it's one thing. Plus, you call at 10 a.m., one person tells you you get, say, 40 cents and insurance is $50 a week. Next person says you get 38 cents and insurance $100 a week. That's at noon. At 2 p.m., you get 44 cents and insurance is $75 a week. The people that recruit don't even know how much they make, what the pay is. It's nearly impossible. Have I heard of Wiley merging with Moose Freight Service? No. Moose Freight? No. James Faust, got to go to the doctor's appointment. Everybody stay safe. Okay, thanks for coming in, and I hope that goes well at the doctor. Thank you for being here. DA, 2019 trucking company closures have doubled, but it still isn't that many. Its average is 30 drivers per company, and it isn't that many drivers. Now, you were like, well, Mark, that's heartless. Well, look, there's well over a million drivers. Not that many have lost their jobs to closing, and really those drivers didn't lose their jobs. Even that article, which I know what you're talking about, says the drivers themselves are still mostly working in the industry. They just aren't working at their job. And every year, companies close. Last year, companies bought tons of trucks and everything. They thought rates would be $5 a mile forever. Turns out that didn't happen, and so now those companies get weeded out. Eventually, when enough of these companies go out of business, the rates will go back up. We want extra companies to go out of business. We don't want everybody to get 1,500 miles a week. That doesn't do anybody any good. Most of the carriers that close were 1 to 3 trucks. Right, not many over 100 exactly. They said in that article it was 30 drivers average. Very small places. Multi-Group Logistics in Chicago shut its doors a few years ago. Okay. Were they 1099? Only because it's Chicago area. Bobby says, my company could not lower my rate when I went to regional, but kept the job title. This is in Oklahoma. Maybe some state law. Federal law would allow them to do whatever they want. Some states may not allow it. How about that? One man spotted the other Sterling in Pasadena, Texas. Had to do double the other one. Do you have the first one? Are you still driving a Sterling around? When I think about it, I think I ever saw a big truck pulled over inside Atlanta. I'm sure if you get an accident, you get a ticket. I think so. Because here's the thing about that kind of thing and probable cause. What is their probable cause, really, to pull you over inside Atlanta? And it seems like Atlanta's got enough other crime rather than bothering a driver just driving himself through town. K. Wayne, Arnold Drummond. What you talk about, Millis? Oh, our poor Arnold Drummond. Arnold, I love it. Michael, companies that can't afford operating at a loss for too long, maybe a week or two, not like Swift, who runs at a loss year round. Yeah, some go out of business and then the rates go back up. I think it's 640 carriers this year, but so far most are 1 to 3 truck. Yeah, look, every company, every owner operator, somebody buys a truck, goes, I'm going out on my own. They get their own authority, buy a truck. That's a business. So then later when they close, because he goes, I'm going in business with $300 of cash reserves. And then he closes because he bought a 1983 Peterbilt. That person, that's considered a company that closed. Amazon wants to take over freight anyway and run at cost. They would love to get into freight. Big time. Cassius King says, you still have 7-speed Sterlings. They just sit on the back line and no one ever drives them. I can imagine. 7-speed Sterlings. Are those, do you work at the trucking museum there? It's companies overhead. With the profits in 2018 with the tax cuts, people went on a spending frenzy. Yeah. Even with the slowdown, your business is growing with low overhead. You got to run your business, right? Run your business. Some of these places just said, oh, let's buy a bunch of trucks. And now they're like, wow, rates are down a little bit. And so now we can't make it. That's how, then they go out of business. I had to drive a Sterling at CDL school. Yeah, that's in an enclosed area. It was an old Pepsi truck. Ironically, the taste of a new generation. The heady trucker, what's going on? Sitting here at the dock for 4 hours in Laredo. Who loads in Laredo? Isn't that like a... I was dropped and hooked there, okay? I guess I'm the only one of this, too. You go down, leave a trailer, get a trailer, right? Take all the lights out of your trailer. I remember them doing that. And then the trailer went over the border, and you'd pick another one up that went back. Did have to sit on the weekends a lot down there. If you were there on Friday, knew you were going to be out there till Monday. 1,000 in reserves and a pack of roller wieners, and that is good enough to get you, and that should actually be the name of a song. That would be the good name of a new country album. Alan Jackson's new album, 1,000 in reserves and a pack of roller wieners, will be out Tuesday. Michael Muller, like Stevens, who bought a scratch frame 389. Pete Platinum and went under. Love it. Pete Platinum. Nice. It sounds like an awesome truck. What kind of fuel mileage does a Pete Platinum get these days? I loaded in Laredo on temperature control division with Werner. We have a cross dock there. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, and then there's Werner is not paying then. I always went down there and would drop and then pick up. Oh, I hope you're not loading potatoes. The DOT work inside the loop a lot and randomly pull over trucks in Atlanta to check their bills. Really? I guess I got lucky. I always just thought, man, they assume that I'm good on this stuff. The heady trucker, yeah, they hosed you on it. Where's that load go? Are you at least getting some miles on it? Does it go, to Michigan or something? The mark of excellence. We still have really beat up a white GMC. Holy moly. A Volvo V&L for the road. Oh, well, at least they've upgraded their road truck. White GMC. Cash is king. We never sell trucks over here. Back rows full of classic day. Wow, that would be an interesting museum. All the classic day cabs of the industry. When you hit 50,000 free rolling wieners for a week for everybody. Wow. That's going to be a long time. So we'll see what happens on that. No way, no Sterling here. Okay, you have a 2019 stripped, not equipped Freightliner automatic. I hear you. I feel your pain in that, certainly. That's all they buy here. Company, straight company trucks, the cheapest you can get them. When I was at PTL, we used to load in Laredo, a warehouse that had parts for Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. Guess American cars is not American made. Well, that's true. I try to buy cars made in America, although if you saw my Instagram, I was out looking at a Range Rover over the weekend because it happened to be sitting there. But some of this stuff, which I've read some about this, if the parts get loaded in the United States, they get to put made in USA on them. There's something about the way it's worded in the law. That's why the parts come out of a trailer and go back in a trailer. And so then they get more American made parts that way. But I agree. Most cars, there's no cars that are 100% American made. My loads on temp control are usually 13 to 1,500 mile runs. All right. Usually northeast down. That's not bad. At least you get some miles on it. You got 6 miles from the terminal to here. And they probably pay practical. That's 5 miles. A Pete Platinum gets 5.5. Oh, it's super. And it's a truck with all the bells and whistles, right? I can imagine. Oh, light kit, best interior features and gauges. That's awesome. I bet that's a super nice truck. A Pete Platinum just sounds like it's going to be nice. It's probably a truck you would love to drive around. Unfortunately, you can't make a lot of money at 5.5 miles to the gallon. Hey, it's here. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you seeing you being here and that you're a fan. Thanks. A lot of the truck movers are down there. You can't say built in USA. It is made in another country, but you can say assemble. Okay, then, right, there's some kind of USA thing. So assembled in USA, the part gets that instead of made in Mexico. It gets to be assembled in USA. That's why they unload it and reload it. And then they get more percentage of American because the cars have that sticker. So many percent, here, so many percent USA, that kind of thing on it. Right. The heady trucker, can you speak on why guys who have been in the business 33 years keep telling me to get out? I have no idea. I've been 31 years and I love trucking, right? I don't know if it's in my blood like some people say, but I think it's a great industry. It just depends what you do in it. People, that want to get out haven't found the right thing for them. I've been at my place 17 years, so I like my company and it suits me. It might not suit you. You need to find what suits you and stay there. A job that's going to pay you for your time and treat you well. Other than this week, we're still not getting anything for Driver Appreciation Week because the people that they have in charge don't drive because it's a large corporation. That's the downside of it. If you want to be home on the weekends, do that. If you want to be gone, find that job. Don't just take a job. go find a job. That's the thing about trucking. And then once you find that job, you'll just love it. And you'll just be in trucking your whole life. It'll pay all your bills for your whole career. No problem. I don't know why I will say this. If somebody is in the business and telling you to get out, I would say to them, why are you still in the business? What are you talking about? Why aren't you out then? If somebody that's been in the business all these years tells you to get out. I've live loaded in Laredo a ton of times, gave you time to eat at the taco truck. Do they still have the lemonade? Let's ask about that. Those trucks, I don't know why, remember this. Those trucks down there, for some reason, have the best lemonade. The best lemonade. They would fresh squeezed. Mark, lemonade? Yes, it was delicious. I bought new Pete glider kits. That's fair enough. What do you think about zip code to zip code miles? Horrible. Not a fan, and don't do it. That's household goods miles. No way. You get hosed on those miles. If you work somewhere with that, get some experience, and just going somewhere that'll pay you practical miles will give you a 10% pay raise just for the same miles. Usually companies that do that say, oh, well, that's just how it's been done or whatever. Baloney. Todd, the first truck in ever was in a 90 Volvo, first conventional with melted cheery air freshener and squirt bottles of a hub. Right. Oh, I love those. Right. When you do that, you need to be successful for your career and a fully spec'd out truck as you get your last truck 10 years before retirement when you can afford to pay cash for it. Look, don't think like I'm against that. If there's a truck you want and you're an owner operator and you can afford that truck, hey, live it up. You know what I'm saying? I got heated seats in my car. Okay, because I want heated seats. So same thing about your truck. You want a truck with stuff in it and you can afford it, be my guest. You're like, I'm in business and I'm making money, got all these lights. Hey, that's fine with me. I'm not like, again, oh, you shouldn't have lights. You can have whatever you want if you can afford it, but don't complain, about that if you're not making money, because then your first goal would be to get better fuel mileage. I would like a Pete. I just haven't made the jump. Have a 2011 Cascadia, 06 Columbia Glider, and 2019 Mack Anthem. Hey, maybe Pete is your next truck. What do you think about that Anthem? My fleet manager paid you $500 for 3 days of breakdown in Laredo, but being stuck there is terrible. You did better than a lot of people. So that's at least something. And did they give you a hotel? And if you're broke down, I hope you got a hotel. Love this job in driving trucks. I just don't get it. That's what I say. Yeah, look, if you're in the business, you can't, oh, this is horrible. You shouldn't do it. Well, what are you doing it for if it's so bad? That's the question, right? There's a whole country out there of other stuff to do. And people can't say no matter what they're, oh, I've been in this. It doesn't matter, right? Go do something else if you don't like it. Senior guys over here get 9 weeks paid time off every year. Yikes. Between vacations, sick time. What's sick time? And holidays. That is pretty nice. After all these years, it's 5 weeks here. That's it. And I'm maxed out. So 9 weeks, that's pretty good. I cannot imagine Cash is King Trucking, your situation where you're going from where you were to getting 9 weeks paid time off every year, where you're thinking like, oh, at some point I'm going to be off 9 weeks and get paid. Imagine how that would have worked, just a few months ago if you'd have taken 9 weeks off. The taco truck at Werner Terminal had lemonade. Is it not delicious? Am I crazy? Am I just crazy for lemonade? Am I cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Comfortable Man is here. Hope you're doing well. Yes, I hope you're doing great too. It is going great. It's a Monday, and every day is wonderful here, of course. We're always happy just waking up every day. You got the rest of the day, then you think, man, this is going to be a great day. I woke up today, right? Think about it like that. Mob says there's a taco truck in Pennsylvania next to the Pilot. If there's a taco truck that is not in Texas, don't eat there. Yeah, I mean, that can be a risk. You want the authentic taco experience. How can you know if you can trust the amount of miles a recruiter says you're going to get? Oh, easy. They're lying. So right there, take it and divide it by an even number. I love my part-time hotshot gig. I hate your 1099 IT consulting work. Rather drive and work outside any day. Hey, you got to quit the consulting and go do what you love. Maybe one day it has to be a good move at a good price. Yeah, okay. Gliders are coming to an end. Exactly. Michael, you don't get a fully spec'd out truck when you have a family of 4 to feed and house payment and other bills. Exactly. All that is a consideration. That's even consideration of changing jobs. Do I want to change jobs? I got a family because I'm here. I got insurance. Do I want to move? I got a house payment. Absolutely. But if you're single, hey, you think, hey, I don't care. Throw caution to the wind. Do what I want. Absolutely. But if you can change, you can do that though. If you got money, business is doing good, hey, bit more power to you. Go enjoy your truck. Best cities to be broke down and stuck. Oh, that's interesting. Laredo, Toronto, and Las Vegas. Toronto's a party town? Oh, party at the Tim Hortons, right? Ooh, yeah. Paid hotel and rental to go back home and reimburse fuel, and they paid driving home. All right, good. So the company at least took care of you. You got paid pretty good for being down there and a hotel and everything. You can still get glider kits if you look around. Trucking, I got into trucking after watching Divorce Court. Wow. Hopefully you didn't participate in a divorce court. You love it. It's all black with the chrome package. This is the Mac Anthem. It has a lot of power, smooth like a cloud, just a little small on the inside and not bad. Got used to it with 90,000 miles. Good. I haven't been in one yet or anything. I see them on the road and they're like, it's different. It's different than other trucks, and thought, man, it's better. Everybody's got a Cascadia or whatever. If you got a truck, wouldn't it be nice to have something a little bit different? Michael says in Germany, we get 4 weeks paid vacation from day one. Is that government mandated? And it's 4 weeks here after what, maybe 15 years or something. It's crazy. New body, older motor for a glider kit. Why do companies pay their lease drivers $1 plus miles, but they move the freight for $2.20? Well, because the lease drivers will do it. Never lease from a company. It's usually not a good plan. Some of them are paying less than $1. I've seen less than $1. I have no idea. Well, people write to me. I'm making 97 cents a mile and pay $1,000 a week on my lease, and I make all kinds of money. No way. There's just no way. You have not seen your house longer than this guy that had 9 million miles in 34 years. Cash is king. I used to live load at Werner and Laredo. Used to use Werner brokerage for loads when he had a dry van. You kind of almost have to, though, in your situation, right? Maybe Werner's like the king of live loading in Laredo. You have Monty has 13 gliders, and I love them. Wow. Watch out for potato food trucks. Yeah, no more fries. Not after hearing about that. It's too scary. The Mexican food in Laredo is no joke. If I'm not careful, I'm going to end up with a Mexican fight, which is not good for my weight. Yeah, exactly. It's the food trucks down there. We got to give they're delicious. Delicious. Cook it right while you wait. If they promise a specific amount of miles, they're lying. Call an hour later and you'll be promised a different amount. Yeah, just call somebody else. It'll be a totally different conversation. The two recruiters, it's like they work for two different companies. They'll offer a different amount of pay and stuff. They have no idea. But if they're saying you'll get this many miles or whatever, you're not. They are lying because they get paid when you come in. So it's very hard to determine. Your best bet is to go to talk to other drivers that you see that work at that company. They're there. You can talk to them and get a much better legitimate feeling of the company. Mob, you don't have kids. At least that's one thing you did right, you guess. Oh, yikes. What about that kind of kid? They're expensive too, Gliders are great, but they're coming to an end. Well, you could still get one if you want. I mean, it's not a problem to get it. No DPF filter. Your Cascadia is deleted. Wow. Where do you get that thing fixed? It's roller wiener time. There's Roger Penske. What's going on? I was talking to a lease guy, and he said he was making 96 cents a mile with fuel. Oh, my God. Your hat fell off your head. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine trying to pay your truck, make a living, buy insurance if you want it, and have any kind of money left at 96 cents with fuel on a truck? That's ridiculous. Red Classic Anthems look awesome to me. Yeah, Red Classic runs a lot of these Anthem trucks. Remember, if you're a veteran, they'll wrap the truck for you. They're doing veteran wraps there, which is really nice. They'd rather spend billions on automated trucks than pay us what we're worth. That's true. Cash is king. A glider has to have two of the following. And new cab, a chassis, and engine, transmission, or rear ends to be a glider. Mob, your DPF is deleted. You voided the warranty. Well, yeah, nobody's going to fix it. That's why I'm wondering who gets to work on it. Big, huge Mike, it's get ready for work for you, so you'll be listening. Have a good week. Thanks for coming in today. It's good to see you here. Have a good work week. Misty, do you know how you can tell when a recruiter's lying and the lips are moving? Yes. Anything they say basically is probably a lie to get you to come work there. And if you don't believe it, call them back in 20 minutes and just get somebody else, and they'll tell you a totally different story. They're just making it up as they go. We have a driver at Werner that took 40 years to achieve 5 million miles. Wow. Maybe KLLM takes a need. No. Maybe Werner needs to get better miles. How about that? Because at KLLM, you can get 727 miles a day, 7 days a week. Werner needs to step up their game, given less than 700 miles a day. Joshua, Amazon is training their employees to get their CDL for local day cab runs. Wow. While at the same time keeping the regional over the road to contract workers. I'm surprised Amazon is going with employees. Maybe that's what they had to do. It's a 2011. It's out of warranty already, right? I also have a mechanic shop. Oh, you work on it yourself. You have drivers pulling. All right, so you don't have to worry about it being fixed somewhere. So you got it made. I made 9 million miles in 3 months at KLLM. They need to step it up. You only made $1,000 though. Well, the pay is a little low there. In the a percentage of a cent per mile. At Swift, they wrap trucks too around a tree. Nice. Any news on good tank companies to drive in Indiana? Well, look, I know a guy that works at Ruan at Fair Oaks Farms, hauling milk. And I think it's a good deal because it's all drop and hook there. He doesn't have to load or unload the tanker. And they run out of Fair Oaks, Indiana, which is in the northern part of the state, Indianapolis, and Jeffersonville, which is near Louisville. So all three of those, you can run out of any of those if you're in that area. And it's a drop and hook tanker job. Not bad. And they pay like $227 a day plus some kind of bonuses. But it's like 10 hours and it's drop and hook, home every day. So I think that's not bad to be home every day and not do literally anything but drive. You're not crazy. Most taco trucks have awesome lemonade. Tacos are good also. The food is delicious too. But that lemonade, I just don't understand why it's so good. Earth runs 9 million miles every week, so people need to step it up. Right, I should say. K-Dub has a cat glider, so you don't have to delete anything, but wouldn't ever admit to deleting it. It's not a smart move. Somebody would see it if you get it fixed. That's what I'm saying. Glider's a rebuilt tractor. Cash is king. Michael, the line of the day, exactly. Just a rebuilt pre-2007 motor. If you don't own this truck and you delete the DPF and that kind of stuff on it, you can't, no legitimate shop can fix it. They're not allowed to work on the truck because of all the emissions and EPA. So, but if you have your own shop, you own the truck, and it's illegal to take it off. Keep that in mind. You're not allowed to, but people do all kinds of stuff. And if you can fix it yourself, who cares, right? Mom, who's the better driver, the 9 million safe driver at KLLM or the guy that CDL was driving with expired CDL for 30 years? Well, he just didn't get caught, but he didn't have any 9 million safe miles. That's the thing of it. I think this 9 million mile safe driver, he's the one making all the money. Can you imagine what you'd make? 727 miles a day, 7 days a week. You got to be making good money. This guy's coming to work in a Bentley. Michael, when I called KLLM to bust them on the 9 million mile, they promised 2,300 miles at 55 cents and 58 if you get 2,400 for 4 weeks. So they give you a raise if you're getting 10,000 miles a month. Call you a vase and knock you over because you're broke. I love it. Altering exhaust on emissions is illegal, but to each his own. Yeah, it is. But if you can fix it yourself and you want to do it, it's illegal, but that's where you probably wouldn't get caught doing it. In Savannah, every truck is deleted. I can believe that. Everybody running out of the ports has deleted their trucks, right? Fishing for a good local DFW hazmat tanker company. Oh, all right. Let's see what people think about that. The cattle hauler that hit the protester with his Pete. Yeah, I saw somebody was protesting and he just basically kept going in there. Although, you can't run him over legally, but you're also not allowed to block entrances. You can protest, but commerce still has to take place. The police should have moved the people out of the way. If people want to protest, that's everybody's right in the United States for whatever they want. Can't block entrances no matter what you're doing. It's also illegal to do any exhaust modifications to any vehicle. But look at four-wheelers with exhaust work. Yeah. Well, right. You're supposed to keep it legit. I agree with that. I drive a Bentley in The Sims. Hayes says, right, that video about that guy that drove all those years with 9 million miles. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Can you imagine the amount of money that guy made? Coming to work with new exotic cars all the time. Oh, that's 9 million mile, the guy. 800 miles a day, every day. Yes, that's the place. Apparently, that's the place to go where you can get the most miles. I waited for them. That's why I didn't put that video out right away. When I read that, I thought, I'm going to wait. They're going to walk that back. They didn't. KLLM is sticking with it. They're sticking with that story. So I thought, all right, let's give this guy the accolades that he deserves. And KLLM, let's give them props for putting out 5,000 miles a week on a truck. Not bad. If caught, they'll make you put it back to factory. That's probably true, right? The KLLM they probably made a bunch of money on it. We do not stop for protesters, but we won't hurt them. We just go slow. Yeah, look, they're not allowed to be in front of you. I think you should stop and call the police, personally, because you don't want problems. That's what I would say, because they're not allowed to block the entrance to any kind of business. It's not allowed. Gemini won't call you back. What's the deal? I don't know. I wouldn't go to a place that won't talk to you. He was driving 60 miles an hour for 12 hours a day. Yeah, basically. Right, 60, averaging 60 for 12 hours every single day, 7 days a week. But he did get February 29th off because I did the math wrong. So I thought, well, let's give him those days off and you can do your laundry. I mean, how much for? He must go in there and go to the cashier at the Loves when he's going to go do his laundry. I need 700,000 quarters. I need to do some laundry. I can't do solo 800 miles a day legally. Hey, who's to say, right? Gracie needs a cat glider. Yes. It's EPA carb mandate. Right. That's all. But that, I thought the lady blocking the cattle hauler had escaped from the trailer. Holy moly. Oh my God. If you call KLLM and ask about the 9 million miles, they will hang up on you or redirect it. Well, then they should put a thing out that says, look, this is not accurate. Here's what really happened. They're the ones that put him on the board for it. They are the ones that put this guy in the news article. He's listed on their chairman's board or whatever it was called, chairman something or other, at 8 million, and they're switching him to 9 million at a banquet. So they can't do that, put it out in as a news article, and then not walk it back if it's not correct. Oh, we did the math wrong, just like we do everybody's pay wrong. The heady trucker, I was able to get 672 miles the other day legal. Can you imagine doing those kind of miles every day, 7 days a week for 34 years straight? I mean, can you imagine that? Even at 672, you'd still be at probably 8 million miles every single day. That would get pretty tiring, I can imagine, doing those kind of miles every day. Doing that once in a while is one thing. Plus, how would you ever load or unload? I like the videos where the truck goes to the livestock truck, goes to the slaughterhouse, and the protesters try to stop them. On the other side of the road, they barbecue for free to pick up, to get the protesters mad. The thing is, in America, they have a right to protest, certainly. People have a right to conduct business, and, they shouldn't be blocking the trucks. They should not try to stop the trucks. It's illegal. The police should be out there holding them back. They get to protest, but they don't get to stop commerce. I can picket your business, but I can't block people from coming into your business. Michael, yeah, exactly. I saw the guy cooking hot dogs across the street. Yeah, he should give them away for free to any protester that wants one. They'd probably just throw them on the ground, but at least they'd have to buy them. Can you hook you up on that? You would love that, right? That'd be really something to do on there. But can you really imagine doing 672 7 days a week? That's 4,800 miles a week, 4,600 miles a week. That's a lot of miles every single week. It'd be good weeks. You'd have good checks. You'd be doing that same kind of car like that guy, coming to work in a Bentley. If that's what you want to do, that's too many miles. I'm not in all for the money and that kind of miles, right? I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind, right? The driver needs to get a deer guard on that Peterbilt if he's going to keep driving. Don't they have guards for people? I mean, they have them for different kinds. I've seen them in different sizes. There should be a people-sized guard, too. Maybe that you can electrify or something. Tell them they're vegan dogs. Highest you got were 680 in 11 hours. Can you imagine doing that every day? How would you do that if you had to load and unload every day, too, or every once in a while? They'll protest about animal slaughter, but they're driving in cars on roads and living that we killed animals to build. But you almost have no choice to do that, right? Here, Scott the vegan who called the cops food. No, I didn't hear. Who's Scott the vegan? Can we get a video of winter safety tips? Yes, as winter comes, we certainly will. I heard it's snowing out west already. I did read about that, and you have to carry chains in Colorado now. On I-70, I hope you have 4 singles with you at least to get over I-70. You can imagine doing it every day. You would love it. I don't know. After like the 22nd year, you'd be like, wow, this is getting really tiring. I've already bought 6 Bentleys. I mean, that's enough. I always wondered if you could put spikes on the guard. No, because you wouldn't want them stuck on there. You should wax it, and they should be angled off to the side, kind of like the ones on the front of a train. So they kind of slide off to the side so you can keep going. Baby girl guard from 579 Pete. You could put it on one of those 7-speed Sterlings. Vegan called cops for neighborhood cooking. Well, that's not illegal, right? To cook a hot dog in your neighborhood. Oh my gosh. You did 740 in 13 hours. Can you imagine? Now this is 727 a day. So that's about what you'd have to do every single day for 34 years. I made it from Rockford, Illinois to Pocatello, Idaho in 24 hours. That's 1,400 miles. Wow, that's 2 days of this guy's work. Glenn says it snowed on the Continental Divide last week. I saw out west it was starting to snow already. I'm like, what the heck? It's only the beginning of September. On the credit thing, that's the insurance company requiring that. In Texas, at least some insurance companies use your credit as part of determining your rate. That's ridiculous. I just think it's ridiculous. I'm a company driver, right? So it's none of their business what my credit, and I need a job because I have bad credit. That's why I'm coming to get a job from them. So I'm just not a fan of it. Deer meat is good. If you hit it, you might as well take it home. You want to I guess you just carry it out there? All right. Forget the Bentley. Just give you 8 John Deeres. It'd be about the same. You do 1293 in 18 hours. I mean, that's 2 days of driving for this other guy, but you really wouldn't want to do that 7 days a week, I'm sure. 700 miles a day. That's a lot of driving. People wouldn't want to do it. There's no, at some point, you're like, the money, I don't care. I need to get some sleep. Best trucker platform goes to Mark. Oh, that would be really great. Thank you. I appreciate it. You do 7 to 740 drop and hook. That's pretty good. Can you imagine doing it 7 days a week, though? Remember, you don't get any days off to do that kind of miles. 7 days a week. Teddy Trucker did 21 in 3.5 days. That's pretty good, too. Everybody's getting a lot of miles. Cassius King says you can mount a sword from Loves on the Deer Guard. It's like a skewer. Oh, that's right. They do have all this stuff in there. I did 3460 in 8 hours. No, that's a lie. I was saying, wow, that's really a lot of miles. This is the only live stream you bother listening to, attending in the trucking community. Thank you very much. That lady sued her neighbors for barbecuing too much and went to court. Yeah, everybody would have to appear in court. There's a Phantom driving the truck with him. No, he says, look, I'm just careful and I just like driving. They interviewed this guy. He was crazy. I just like to drive. I'm just a careful driver. And then KLLM never walked it back or anything. So I just don't understand it. Once KLLM didn't say anything, then, that's what I thought about it too. Certainly. I do want to thank everybody for being here because I do have to go into my company and make them some money today. So that's what we're doing here. Of course, thank you for GP Transco for being here too. So be sure to check out GP Transco there if you would like to get a good job. And but GP Transco probably will not be able to give you 727 miles a day like some places, but maybe you could talk to them about it. And if you're going to bring a primate in there as well. So thank you everybody for being here. Cassius King Trucking. It's good to see that you're doing good out there. Mad Maldy was here today. Thank you, Michael Muller. First today, again on today, the barbecue trucker. I'm going to get some tips so I don't freeze my barbecue. Thanks, Mob. I appreciate you being here. Adam is here. Ryan Johnson, thanks for coming in. Tony, thank you for the information. Glenn, it was here today. Thank you, everybody. The Heady Trucker for being here. Red Monkey Trucking was in here today. I appreciate everybody coming in, as I do every week. We can't do this show without you. You could be anywhere, but you're here, and I do appreciate you coming in. Wild Bill, thank you for coming in. Maybe we'll get you to the hair care salon soon on that. Maybe. Ryan, I hear you about getting detention pay, but you're getting paid 4,000 miles a week. Would I do better getting detention? I don't know. I mean, it depends how long you wait around. If you're getting 4,000 miles, you cannot be getting too much detention. I just think drivers on that kind of stuff, you should get paid all of your time, okay, or a guarantee so that if you sit, you don't have to wait. Like some people today said they waited 23, 24 hours. That's a whole day you're not getting paid for. So I rather drivers were paid for all their time. That's what I'm saying about that stuff. So if you get 4,000 guaranteed miles a week, that's one thing. If you're getting 4,000, you cannot be waiting around for very long at places, right? So you'd have to figure that out. But you should always be paid for all of your time. I think the Supreme Court of Washington was wrong with this Knight case. I think you should be paid for your time. The mileage pay is for miles. And if they want to have other pay, then they should pay for that. That's what I think. But the Washington Supreme Court, turns out they didn't call me and ask me about it. So, but you should be paid for your time. Glenn, thanks. See you next week. I appreciate being here. Mob, Texas Trader, thanks. They have a 465. Oh, I'll look at that before I head out. Thank you. Len, thanks for coming in. Michael, Southern Route, always appreciate you. And I appreciate you coming in today. I do. Don't forget to take leap day off. Yeah, you can do your laundry. I need 73 million quarters. Do we even talk about the topic? Yes, I did talk about my topics on there today. Yeah, as the kids say, Mad Maldy. And I am headed off to make work some money. So I will see you all on videos and see you next Monday, I hope. Thanks for being here.